Yo, what's up, y'all? It's Zems, and welcome to another reaction video. Today we're gonna react to Rodden's Mango. I think it said #1 YouTuber of Korea beaten to film videos and blackmailed by social justice YouTubers. I don't know what this video entails, but I know a lot of you was down in the comment section saying, Zems, go react to this one, the Tzuyang video. Go react to it. So that's why I'm here. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your Friday. Hopefully I'm not gonna say hopefully. I already know this video is gonna be super intense. So like I said, the viewer discretion is advised. You know, if you are you know, I don't know what the word used. If you're like if you don't handle traumatic events well, then make sure you click out of the video and give yourself time and come back, or just stop watching the video entirely. But other than that, this video is by Rodden Mango. So if you guys haven't already, make sure you swoop down the description box, click on the link, go watch this video in entirety. I'm gonna be pausing, stopping, and talking through the whole thing. If you guys are new to the channel, my name is Zems, and welcome to the Crow's Nest. Ooh.
Bada bing, bada boo.
The biggest South Korean YouTuber was hiding a secret. Her channel name is Tzuyang. She has over 10 million subscribers. She's a mukbanger, so she eats on camera for a living. It's said that she can eat 30,000 calories in a single day. Just to give you an idea, the average recommended calorie consumption for the average American ranges from 1,600 calories to 2,400 calories in a single day. I mean, obviously there's exceptions, but that means if you do the math, she eats well over 2 weeks worth of food for the average American in a single day. She stated that by herself, she can eat 40 servings of tripe, 110 plates of sushi rolls, 22 pounds of yellowfish, the sushi, 20 bags of ramen, and 20 servings of beef.
Yo,
all by herself.
Insane.
This is even before she started eating on camera. She said there was a time when she had no money back then where she went to this all-you-can-eat buffet because she couldn't really afford to go anywhere else to fill her stomach. And it was a cheap buffet. And afterwards, she walks out of there belly full, and she felt so bad for the owners because they likely lost a ton of money because of her, that she never went back to another buffet ever again.
Really?
Yeah, and what's crazy is she eats like a competitive eater, but I would say that that is not the reason that people are subscribed to Tzuyang. 1 in every 6 South Koreans is subscribed to Tzuyang's YouTube channel because she has this way about her. She seems incredibly sweet. She has this bubbly, energetic energy where she seems to really savor every last bite of the food, and she makes it very entertaining to watch her. It doesn't just seem like, wow, look at this person who can eat so much food. It seems warm. It seems like a companion. That's her image. She even recently collaborated with Gordon Ramsay, and people just love her in South Korea. She's actually one of the most well-perceived influencers in South Korea, which is very difficult to pull off. But there was always something a little bit weird about Tzuyang and her YouTube videos, okay?
I always wonder what their health looks like. I know it's like really cool to eat all that food, but I'll be wondering like, what is their like health like? Do they have like high blood pressure, or is there a science to it? Do you just have to work out like super hard, or is she just burning this all off? I always wonder when people go to like competitive eating contests or they eat a ton of food, it's just like, where does it all go? I could only imagine like, you know, like I said, like high blood pressure or high cholesterol or something. I don't know, but I've always been curious about how that works.
Some people noticed them and even commented on them years ago. Whenever Tzuyang wore short sleeves, she would have bruises up and down her arms. There would be random discussions in the comment section. Some people thought it was alarming, but most people argued it's probably from grilling. She would have these mukbang videos where she's grilling like 100 dumplings in one pan, and the pan itself is honestly the size of her torso. Of course, she's gonna get her arms burnt on the side. She's moving around. She's probably restarting the camera, leaning over. She's getting her utensils. And she seems a little bit, in the nicest, most loving way possible, she seems a little bit clumsy. She doesn't seem like someone who's just always, you know, fluid in her movements. And you know, the barbecue, the 40 pounds of tripe, when you grill that up, guess what? Oil splatters. And it's probably splattering all over her arms. I mean, think about it. Even if she goes grocery shopping with the amount of food consumption she has, that's a lot of food she's hauling into her apartment. But the bruises were large. I mean, they're big, purple. I would say that the bruises on her videos, on her arm, are maybe credit card shaped, if not larger. They're large bruises, and they're oddly not circular. Because you know how if you knock into something, you almost get more of a bit of a circular bruise? They look more square or rectangular. And she would just constantly say that she's always clumsy if she ever briefly addressed it. In some of her videos, she will have bandages on multiple fingers, up and down her arms. But again, nobody suspected anything that sinister, considering, again, she has this bright, cheerful personality. They thought if she's going through something bad, let's say worst case scenario, what do bruises mean? Maybe you're getting hit. If she's going through that, there's no way that she would be able to smile so brightly on camera. That just doesn't make sense.
You'd be surprised.
But the truth is, she was being beat. Tzuyang was forced into creating a mukbang channel, and when she wasn't filming, she was beaten twice a day for years. Audio has recently surfaced, and in it, you hear a man's voice screaming, shut up, you stupid bitch. Didn't I tell you not to do this? You can hear Tzuyang, the #1 most subscribed YouTuber in South Korea, crying in the background, begging him not to do this to her, begging him to stop and spare her life. Tzuyang was forced to mukbang so someone could profit millions of dollars. One of the top YouTubers in the world on a global scale had effectively been held hostage for 4 years and forced to produce YouTube videos. This is the story of Tzuyang. And with that being said, the YouTuber that is at the center of this controversy is not someone that this disclaimer applies to. Tzuyang is not a part of this disclaimer. We are not discrediting a victim's experience. The disclaimer to take things with a grain of salt applies to basically everybody else except for her story. So keep that in mind. This is also a South Korean case. We had help from professional researchers. However, if anything is mistranslated, miscommunicated, or if you know anything additional, please let us know down in the comments. Some statements have been condensed for time, and with that, there are mentions of blackmail, domestic violence, and a brief mention of self-exit. So please, if that's too much, click off, take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next one. So with that being said, let's get into it. There's going to be a lot of YouTubers, and I'm going to tell you straight off the bat which ones are going to be very, very important. The first YouTuber we're talking about is a South Korean YouTuber by the name of Akarakacho, and that's literally just his YouTube channel name. That's not his government name, so we're going to call him AK for Akarakacho, okay? AK. He has a very interesting online persona. He's kind of a crypto guy. He's very much into the crypto space. If there's new updates on Bitcoin, if there's new updates on any of the cryptocurrencies, he's going to be talking about it. He loves to start little new businesses with the crypto world. That's what he's known for. But he's friends with a lot of other YouTubers that aren't even in the crypto space. So one of his closest friends at the time is a YouTuber by the name of Kujaeuk. Now, his YouTube channel name is Kujaeuk, so we're going to call him Jay of Kujaeuk. But that's not his actual name. That's just how everyone, even the news, is currently referring to him. So I don't want to use his legal name. Now, side note, his channel name, it literally means, it's the phrase of helping the underdog, helping someone that has been wronged, helping a victim. And so he's built his whole career on helping people. That's what he says. Now, in the past, when he first started his YouTube channel, he did a lot of random things. He was trying to do a little bit of expose videos, and then he tried singing videos, gaming videos, reviews, experiments. He was just trying to figure out what was going to stick. A lot of people initially really liked him because he had these vlogs where he would take care of his mother who had dementia, and they thought, wow, this 32-year-old man is so sweet and he's so attentive to his mother, and it's just so refreshing to see that online. But in 2020, Kujaeuk, Jay, starts making a shift in his content. He starts becoming part of the Wrecker Union. That's what they call themselves. It's a group of YouTubers in South Korea called the Wrecker Union, kind of like a wrecking ball. And their whole thing, their whole career is making expose videos on other influencers, celebrities, businessmen, Nepo babies, criminals. That's it. They like to wreck their reputations, wreck their careers, wreck their online personas, wreck their image, which you would think is a good thing. Because if they did something wreck-worthy, they're going to get wrecked, right? But the thing with Jay is, he's kind of a controversial person. He would not investigate that much. He would just ask people, his own viewers, hey, send in some reports. If you have something fascinating about someone, send it in and I'll look into it. I mean, technically, people could try to fabricate things. I feel like he did a lot more harm than good. There were instances where he alleged that a party would take drugs and have group intimate sessions with each other. All of that turned out to be false. He's already being investigated by the prosecutors for a few instances of spreading false allegations and rumors. In fact, he has been sued more than 30 times since he started YouTube.
30 times.
Primarily for defamation. He's also just known to hate women. I mean, I imagine that if Jay calls you a feminist, that is a super derogatory term for him. That's not a compliment. He seems to objectify women a lot. So Crypto AK and Underdog Jay, they're best friends. Now, behind closed doors, they were trying to get involved in like this new cryptocurrency, and they had purchased all the crypto coins off of Jay's phone. And for whatever reason, Crypto AK decides, hey Jay, I need to see your phone again so that I can sell some of my coins and transfer my coins. Can I borrow your phone for a second? Underdog Jay gives AK his phone, and he brings it back to his room where he takes a copy of his phone. Imagine you get your friend's phone and you back it up to your computer.
That's crazy.
It seems like he just always had bad intentions. It seems like all these people have bad intentions. So he takes a copy of Underdog Jay's phone into his computer and he doesn't really look at it, or so that's the story.
I don't know about y'all, but when people take my damn phone, they have to use it right there in front of me. Ain't no, hold on, I'm about to take it to the other room. Nah, bruh. You staying right where you at, buddy. I don't know. Matter of fact, who you calling? I'll call them for you and put it on speaker, bruh. I don't know. I don't feel comfortable giving people my phone. Like, it's not that I don't have anything in there to hide. It's just, I don't know. It's just weird. It's like one of those things. Like, I give people some chips, a soda, whatever it is. Like, I give people like a game controller, but for some reason, I can't just give somebody my phone and let them walk away with it. I just feel like everybody, when people have your phone, you can do so much damage with that. Like, you can do a lot of damage. So I don't let people walk away with the phone in their hands, but you know, that's just me. I've had plenty of people like, hey man, you mind if I call somebody? I was like, hey, I call them for you, but I'll put it on speaker. I don't put my phone in nobody's hand. Come on, bro, let me just hold it. No, bro. Nope. Nope.
Doesn't look at that copy until a few weeks later. Jay, Underdog Jay, goes on to live stream and posts a picture of Crypto AK's family, including a picture of his wife and a picture that is unblurred of his minor child.
Why did he do that?
It just seems like I guess he was talking and he just posted a picture, and later Crypto AK is like, hey, I haven't posted my family. Can you please take that down? And Jay did not want to. Jay was like, I don't know what the big deal is. And it caused a whole problem. According to AK, his child was getting bullied. Like, it was causing issues with his relationship with his wife. It was just unfortunate. And he was stating, if that's my friend, why can't he just take it down? Like, why can't he just do what I ask him to do? It's my privacy. And so for that reason, the alleged story is that Crypto AK starts going through the backup that he has of Underdog Jay's phone on his computer, and he starts searching for anything bad to just get back at him, level the playing field, honestly get revenge. Because if you're gonna post private details about my family, maybe I need to post private details about yours. AK goes onto Jay's phone, or the backup, and he finds something. He finds blackmail audio of Jay and another YouTuber colluding to blackmail someone. They're talking about, okay, we're gonna blackmail this person. How much money do you think we can get out of them? It's basically a crime. Blackmail and extortion, those are crimes.
But AK is like going through Jay's phone.
Yeah.
Almost like blackmailing Jay.
Precisely.
But
I mean,
instead he found Jay trying to blackmail someone else.
Exactly. So none of these people are good people so far. Like, they're doing everything for really insidious reasons. He finds this little blackmail audio tape of these two YouTubers, and he's like, you know what I'm gonna do? I am gonna expose this to the world. Because guess what? Underdog Jay, he constantly says that he's for the underdogs. Literally, that's his channel opening. That's what he talks about in every single video. And here he is literally committing crimes with another YouTuber, doing some dirty, nasty stuff, such as blackmail and extortion. That's disgusting. So he takes the audio tapes and he decides that he's going to send them to a cyber wrecker. You're like, what is a cyber wrecker? A cyber wrecker is a classification of YouTuber in South Korea. So you know how in America we have beauty influencers, we have mukbangers, we have all these different things. Cyber wrecker is also a division of YouTube, like a niche in YouTube. And they're truly just to wreck people's perceptions of other people's reputations.
Like expose? Is it like
Yes.
commentary?
It's more like exposés. I wouldn't say it's commentary. It's a little bit different. So commentary, in America, you have so many commentary channels. And when a situation occurs, someone commits a crime, let's say a celebrity commits a crime, all the commentary channels are going to comment on it because that's what they do. Now, cyber wreckers, they're in the business of timing. They want to get privileged information. They want to get the inside source, and they want to be the one to release the information first. They're almost in a time war. So originally, I thought cyber wrecker was literally spelled like the wrecking ball wrecker,
Like
but it's
TMZ.
actually spelled like with an R. And it's because in South Korea, when you get into a car accident, let's say you're driving on the highway, you get into a car crash, you pull over to the side, suddenly you look up and there's 10 tow trucks. They just drive around looking for car accidents and they start fighting you for business. There will be 10 tow truck drivers standing there witnessing you stressed out trying to get the other car accident person's insurance, trying to get their driver's license, and they're just shouting numbers at you. No,
They
you
just
come with
want
us.
a business.
Yes. So they look for these bad accidents. They look for negative energy is kind of the theme that they say. And they stop and they try to be the first one there.
So you're saying these cyber wreckers are like that?
That's what
Because
they're,
negativity
yeah.
Kind of like sharks
sells.
in the water.
Yeah, they're circling for blood. Now, of course, there's good ways to do it. I mean, some of them had okay reputations because they would actually help the public, the general public. But a lot of them don't have good reputations. They're
I
almost
see.
seen as like foaming at the mouth to get the inside details. For example, you know the Chodosun case that we
Yes.
did? You guys all know that case. I'm going to link it below. But there were a bunch of cyber wreckers that had shown up to his house after he was released from prison, which this is a criminal who essayed a little 8-year-old girl, and he got out of prison recently in South Korea. They all showed up to his new house, and they were just filming, ordering pizza, ordering jjajangmyeon, remember?
Oh, that was them.
They're cyber wreckers. They're getting into fights in front of the building. They're causing disturbances. The neighbors hated them. They're
morning.
cyber wreckers.
Wow, this is so fascinating. I didn't know.
Yeah. So they do want to get the first blood in the water. They want to break the news. The goal is to be the first one to break the unfortunate news. Probably the best example of a cyber wrecker is a YouTuber by the name of Karacula. He is one of the biggest. He's actually a detective affiliated with the Korea Licensed Private Investigators Association in South Korea. He started his channel because 10 years ago, he had gone out to dinner with his uncle, and on the way back home, his uncle was hit by a drunk driver and he passed away in front of him. And he just said that he felt this undying rage toward drunk drivers, which is why he started investigating and exposing drunk driving incidents that involve celebrities and influencers, as well as news anchors and Nepo babies. Because oftentimes in South Korea, it's a little bit different from
Hey, what's a Nepo baby? She keeps saying it. I don't know what that is. She said that like 2 or 3 times already. What's a Nepo baby? Unless I'm just stupid. I'm like, oh, it's like one of those, oh, okay, kind of moments, but I don't know what that is.
America, where names are not made public. When people commit crimes, you have to go through a whole process back then for their names to become public information, even if they're convicted of the crime. He was also the one that exposed the identity of the Busan spinning kick incident, where a man, if you remember, we talked about that case, where a man literally spun in the elevator, kicked a stranger, a woman, in the elevator lobby of her own apartment building, and then dragged her to the stairs where there was no CCTV camera.
Yeah.
And likely essayed her. Yeah, he's the one that revealed his identity. He's also the one that helped reveal the blackmailer's identity for the Parasite actors case.
Oh, the woman, 2 women?
Yes, that blackmailed him. Yes.
Wow.
And that, I mean, he's probably one of the biggest cyber wreckers. His name is Karacula. Now, AK does not send the audio files to Karacula. Instead, he sends it to another cyber wrecker by the name of Pansuk. Again, not his legal name, just his YouTube channel name. We're going to call him Pan. Now, Pan gets the audio files and he has it in his hands. He's sitting on it for a second because there's just too many things happening on YouTube right now. He gets the audio files, but he's distracted because the Miryang 44 case is developing. I feel like these are so many references. I'm so sorry, but it's just all intertwined and there's no way to separate any of them. So if you guys don't know, we actually did an episode on the Miryang 44 case before all of these new developments, and we're going to do an updated episode very, very soon. But just to give you some context on how all of this fits into today's case.
That's crazy. Like, these are some of the biggest cases in Korea, and they're all somehow connected.
Yeah.
By these YouTubers.
Yeah. Some of them have like 100,000 subscribers. But they've all got their fingers in all the biggest like mainstream news.
Like, they actually are a part of the case.
Yes.
They're not just reporting on it. They're actually a part of it.
Yeah, Caracula was actually part of most of these cases.
That's crazy. Wow.
So Pan, he gets these audio files and he's too busy, he's too distracted by Miryang 44 case. Now, this year, 2024, is the 20-year anniversary that everything has taken place. A middle school girl was lured out by a boy texting her online. She thought that she was going to go meet up with a potential boyfriend, but instead she goes to the city of Miryang and she gets jumped by a group of 10 to 12 teenage boys that gang essay her. She's in middle school. They film the entire assault and they show her the video afterwards. And they tell her, if you tell anybody about this assault, we're going to release this video to your school, your family members, your parents. Everyone is going to see this video and your life is going to be over. She ends up truly having no choice but to try and do everything in her power to make sure that this video never sees the light of day. The group of guys essaying her would call her, forcing her to meet up with them again and again at warehouses, tennis courts, just random areas where different group of high schoolers would surround her and gang essay her multiple times over the span of over a year. So Miryang is the city in South Korea where this took place, and 44 is the number of at least 44 confirmed essayers that were involved. However, it's said that there were at least 100 accomplices involved in the torturing of this young girl. Eventually, the perpetrators would victimize the original victim's younger sister, younger cousin. Eventually, there were 5 victims in total. And when the authorities finally catch wind of this case, they let 44 confirmed essayers and the over 100 accomplices just go with barely a slap on their wrist. Absolutely none of them received a felony or were even charged on their record. So their rap sheets stayed completely blank, which also means that their identities were protected until 2024, until this year. A group of YouTubers have been outing each of the perpetrators' identities one by one. I mean, this has been such a big deal in South Korea. Mainstream media news outlets have.
But it shouldn't even have to come to that, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, it shouldn't even have to reach that point. Why does it have to be, oh, it's 2024 now? Like, bro, 44 people and over 100 accomplices, bro. Like, and they got video footage of all them doing it, and you want to, like, let them go ahead, bro. I don't know, man. The systems, man, man. And it's not really anything you can really say, or because it's not going to, like, you know what I mean? It just feels like I'm repeating myself, like every video, like every Rodden Mango video I watch, it just feels like I'm repeating myself over and over and over again. It's just like, damn, man, like, you can't catch a break, bro. Like, but then if, let's just say one of them would have turned around and killed one of them or something, she would have got more jail time than all of them combined. It's not fair, man. It's not fair at all. It sucks. It's stupid. And you can't do anything. It's so dumb, bro. Like, I don't know. I haven't seen that case, but hopefully I can shed some light and probably tell me that they got more jail time or all 44 people got convicted, because that's just pure insanity. And over a year. So you know there's like a mountain of evidence just laying around, and if her 4 or 5 other younger siblings, it's like, come on, man. Sheesh.
Been talking about it nonstop. Governors, police, they're all getting involved. It's a huge legal situation of, are they even allowed to do this right now? How are they not getting sued? What if they accidentally give the wrong name? Like, there's just been so much discourse about it, which will all get touched on a later episode. But where does Pan get involved in all of this? Well, he's got the blackmail tapes of these 2 YouTubers colluding to blackmail another person, and he listens to all of the audio, and he's sitting there thinking to himself, likely, this is probably the only thing that might be as big as the Miryang updates. The Miryang 44 case, this might be the only thing that's as crazy that might take over mainstream news. He's listening to it, and it involves Jay, and another YouTuber by the name of Tzuyang. We're going to call him Jin, because Tzuyang, again, is just his channel name, okay? And the word itself means detecting manipulation. It's like staged.
They all have these very, like, you know, justice type of name.
Yeah, I would say, okay, so Tzuyang is a little bit different. Jay, he's truly, his whole marketing shtick is, I'm for the underdog. Tzuyang is a little bit different. It's a little bit lower stakes. So Jin, all of his videos used to consist of him sitting there and just pointing out the stagedness of other YouTubers' videos. He's like, this couple's video is staged, and let me show you why. This YouTuber, this whole thing of him running into a stranger is staged. This YouTuber who is rescuing a puppy is staged. So it's a little bit lower stakes than, I guess, you know, crime. But
Okay, so to recap, Jay and Jim are blackmailing someone.
Yes.
And there's a tape of them talking.
Yes.
AK got the tape and passed it on to
Pan.
And Pan is sitting there listening to the first tape.
Yes.
And he's thinking about something.
He's thinking, wow, this could honestly be as big as the Miryang case. Like, it's crazy. This could be the next explosive conversation on social media and even mainstream media. I mean, it's huge. Because these two YouTubers, Jay and Jin, they're talking about blackmailing only the biggest YouTuber in South Korea to reveal the fact that Tzuyang used to work at a hostess bar before starting her YouTube channel. This is exactly what Pan might need to help pivot the conversation, allegedly. Allegedly, Pan has interest to have everybody stop talking about the Miryang 44 case because he's friends with the perpetrators.
What?
So he decides.
Wait, so he's not just trying to break the news.
He doesn't even release the tapes himself. He sends it to another YouTuber. He just wants, allegedly, what everybody thinks is that he just wants the conversation to not be about Miryang 44. He wants there to be a new news.
That is crazy. And he is a YouTuber that talks about what usually?
He's a cyber wrecker.
He's a cyber wrecker.
He's a cyber wrecker. He actually
exposes people.
Yeah, there's so much. It gets a little bit crazier, and we're going to talk about it in the Miryang 44 update episode. But he also does get involved in the Miryang case, and he almost gets canceled for it. So that's why there might be incentive for him to try and stop the conversation around Miryang 44.
Wow.
There's evidence, alleged evidence, that he is friends with many of the perpetrators.
Wow.
So he's trying to pivot the whole conversation away from it.
He's trying to protect his friends.
Yes, and himself. And this might be the only thing that could stop it. So he decides, I'm not going to release it because he's already in a ton of shit for the Miryang 44 case and allegedly being friends with perpetrators. So he sends these blackmail audio tapes to another YouTuber. And he's like, hey, you release it. Because to him, it's not about getting views or attention to his channel. It's about pivoting the conversation away from Miryang 44 into something crazier or bigger or more interesting. That's his incentive, allegedly. So he sends it to a YouTuber by the name of Kim Se-hee. We're going to call him Kim. Now, it is important to note, just like AK and just like Pan, Kim is not really a good person. So AK, who originally finds the blackmail audio tapes, he knows that this is going to hurt Tzuyang when he listens to it, clearly.
This is the type of thing where you say you are who you hang around with. Bro, you have a whole circle of criminals or friends, bro. A whole circle of people that are just petty and negative, bro. And they're just all in a circle, smiling and talking to each other. They're all just trying to stab each other in the back, bro. It's like a never-ending circle. Crazy.
Yeah.
But he's like, I'm going to send it to a different YouTuber because I don't care. I want revenge on Jay. He posted a picture of my family. So this is my revenge. Who cares if Tzuyang gets wrecked for it? So he sends it to Pan. Pan hears it and he's like, wow, Tzuyang is going to get ruined if I release these audio tapes. But literally, I don't care because I just want to protect my friends, allegedly, that are part of this Miryang case. So then he sends it to Kim Se-hee. Now, Kim is a crazy, insane right-wing person. I mean, he's described as ultra hardline conservative to the point where I think his favorite type of human is incel. He's just truly I don't even know if I want to call him fascinating, or I don't know what the nicest word I could use that is not that nice, but he just cares about power and attention, and he's trying to break out into becoming a politician. He's like the incel king. I don't think he himself is an incel, but he is just kind of unhinged. So one of the best things for him right now would be to get attention. It would also to be aligning himself on the younger kid's side. So he listens to these blackmail audio tapes and he's thinking, this is so fascinating. I think that if I post this, I'm going to get a lot of attention because Tzuyang is not a political person. She's only the most subscribed YouTuber in South Korea, the biggest YouTuber. And so if I release news and drama that involves her, I'm going to get a lot of young people who might not watch my channel because it's too political for them, too adult for them. This is going to blow it up. I mean, who cares about hurting her?
This is crazy.
Because if I post it, my career is going to get better.
Right.
So he decides he's going to expose the blackmail audio tapes for the greater good. The greater good being him. Also, he hates Caracula. Yeah, remember Caracula, the cyber wrecker that's pretty well liked, right? Apparently, Kim, allegedly, tried blackmailing Caracula once. Now, this is a rumor, so take it with a grain of salt. But the rumor goes like this. Kim heard a rumor that the great Caracula, the people's YouTuber, had dirt on another crypto influencer. And instead of exposing the crypto influencer for being a fraud, he blackmailed him. He said, hey, I won't make a video exposing you and ruining your career if you give me money under the table.
Who blackmailed them?
Caracula, allegedly. But
Wait,
then
so
Kim,
Caracula, hold on. Caracula also blackmailed people.
the allegation, is a rumor. Now, the rumor is that Kim heard about this.
Wait, so everybody's blackmailing so far? Like
Yeah,
every single person you mentioned so far?
Everybody's a blackmailer. These like good YouTubers, wholesome justice warriors, they're blackmailers.
That's what we're trying to tell y'all. Don't worship YouTubers, man. You
So
don't
this
know.
is like their
Crazy.
process. If they find bad information about an influencer, it seems like the first thing they'll do is go to them privately and say, hey, give me money. And if they don't, they'll make the video.
I don't know what to say. This doesn't even sound real.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds like a movie.
So
So Kim knew that about him.
allegedly. And the rumor is that Kim then went to Caracula and said, hey, pay me money. Because I know you asked for money from the crypto influencer.
The chain of blackmailing.
He blackmailed the blackmailer, allegedly. I don't know if it happened. I don't know if it worked. But if it did, this seems like a happy coincidence that Kim Se-hee can potentially take down a bunch of YouTubers in one swoop and get a bunch of attention to his channel.
Why is this related to Caracula?
Because even Caracula is part of the blackmail tapes.
What do you mean? I thought it was just two people, Jay and Jin.
There's multiple audio tapes and Caracula is in one of them. Like
said-
all these
Saying
justice
what?
warriors are going down. I'm about to tell you. July 10th of this year, like literally this month, the blackmail audio is released by Kim Se-hee on his YouTube channel. Now, the video states essentially that there are YouTubers famous for exposing criminals, but guess what, guys? They themselves are criminals. Take a look. He releases the first audio tape, which is a phone call between Jay and Jin, the original two YouTubers. Jay answers the phone while recording the call, which is why we have the tapes. And he says, hey, Jin. Hey, is the meeting over, Jay? Yeah, the meeting's finished. Oh, okay. So I was just calling to talk about the thing that I mentioned earlier about Tzuyang. Have I mentioned this before to you at all? No, you haven't. I heard about it like 3 years ago and I've been keeping it to myself, but I think it's true though, right? Like what they're saying about Tzuyang. Oh, it's not even comparable to what you think. Wait, what? Why is that? Because, listen, Jen, if this news comes out about Tzuyang, she's gonna have no choice but to retire.
What?
Oh, isn't this her about being from Redacted? So filling in the blanks, it seems like they're asking, oh, is this about her working out that hostess bar? And they state the hostess bar.
Okay.
To which Jay responds, it's not even just about her working at that hostess bar. She worked at Redacted and Redacted. Yeah, that's right. On top of that, there are rumors that Tzuyang was a school bully.
이거 아니 그거잖아요. 찌양이 그거
A school bully.
출신을 말 아니에요?
출신만 있는 게 아니에요. 그 출신 그 뭐냐 에서 일했었고
그니까, 예, 맞아요.
여기에다 그거도 있다고 그 학폭 가해자.
They briefly mentioned that the former CEO of Tzuyang's agency and management agency is also in a bit of a scandal. Apparently, the former CEO of Tzuyang's agency is being sued for SA and for domestic violence. They also state that the two of them have some weird history. Basically, Tzuyang's management agency CEO was the manager at the hostess bar that she allegedly worked at before becoming a YouTuber. So they moved to YouTube together, like to the industry together. It's just confusing so far. Now, Jin is asking Jay because it seems like Jin is asking Jay for advice. Like the conversation, it seems like Jay is the one with more power.
Jay, okay.
Now, Jin asks, but isn't it better just to cover it up for Tzuyang and get some money out of her? I mean, to be honest, realistically, isn't it better to resolve this amicably with the current agency that she's working with? And, you know, rather than exposing it for whatever benefit that we might get out of it, out of a video, it can get very messy, no? Do you think that they're going to resolve it nicely, Jin? I mean, me personally, I don't trust Tzuyang. I mean, they'll probably give us a good cut since Tzuyang is making good money, right? Yeah, but I can't trust Tzuyang. I'm afraid I'm gonna eat the money and get drunk. That's how he says it, but I guess a better translation would be, I'm afraid of getting burned after taking the money. But the verbiage that he uses in Korean is really aggressive, almost like a kind of a gangster verbiage, but he's talking very professionally. It's like, I eat the money and I get 취해서 drunk. It's just a very gross.
Okay, so Jen is saying, should we just get some money out of this information?
He's talking to Jay as if it's a win-win situation. Tzuyang gets to keep her career and we make some money. Come on, like why wouldn't anybody want this? Why wouldn't Tzuyang want this? Like everybody comes out on top. And Jay is saying, I don't trust her. I don't trust her. I'm scared that I'm going to take the money and some shit's going to go down, basically. And Jin is like, but we know what we know, and it's huge, right? I mean, can she even refuse the blackmail request? So isn't it better to just take a few thousand, 10,000, 20,000, just clean?
$10,000, $20,000?
At least. He's saying maybe even like 100K.
Shit. If it was me, I'm like, you gotta prove it. Prove that I was in that hostess bar. You got to show me some pictures or some videos or something, because I ain't giving out that information, willingly. But I mean, it's nothing wrong with it. I've been into a hostess bar for experience purposes, of course, because I was in Japan for a little bit. But I mean, it's cool. It's not nothing too crazy. It's not even bad, man. The way they try to make it seem like it's just a bunch of rumors that doesn't even add up. It's just so weird. Like, oh yeah, she worked at this place and that place, and on top of that, she was a school bully. Like, bro, you going back years ago to something that doesn't even matter. Who cares? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a weird set of rumors that it just only goofy people I think would believe. It's just, but then again, like I said, rumors keep people interested. Negativity keeps people interested. So people will eat all that up. Some people are going to believe it, and other people are going to be like, let me do my own research and look into that myself. So you have your select few that will go and do their own research. And you have the other select few that's going to be like, he said it, so I believe it. I'm not doing any background work. And it's just like, all right, well, you do you know what I'm saying? But everything you hear is not always true. You know what I mean? Some people are really good at making it believable too. Some really, really good liars out there. They will not, their facial expression won't change. They won't crack a smile. They'll be dead ass serious, playing the part like Oscar award-winning liars out here in these streets, bro. I'm telling you. That's why you can't tell everybody your business. If you have social media, put it on private, block your pictures and all that stuff. People will go to extreme lengths to make sure you're embarrassed, or to make it look like you're not credible, or to make it look like you're just a horrible person in general. And now what I'm scared for is that AI is becoming a thing, and it's becoming extremely well. Like, it's coming. Like, it's getting out of control of how well some of these AI photos are starting to look. Like, if you guys been on YouTube or Facebook or anything like that, how well people can manipulate pictures or manipulate or make it look like you're talking when you're not even doing that, or putting you in videos, but it's crazy. It's getting insane. That just makes me wonder, like, are they going to start using this to make it seem like people did commit a crime that they didn't? If you say something you're not supposed to say, are they going to make it look like you did something so they can put you away for life? or anything like that, or somebody can use that against you and then get you put in jail. You know what I mean? Like, it's getting scary. Technology has become more advanced, and it's it's going. So yeah, probably got sidetracked, but you know, like me, I like to talk sometimes. So my bad. Back to video.
Whoa.
And just take it very cleanly.
That's crazy.
But why do you say that you can't trust Tzuyang? I'm afraid she's gonna backstab me later. See, that is a problem, actually. I guess that is an issue. Honestly, Jen, I'm pretty good at this. I've done this before. I'm really good. To be honest, that's how I bought my car and stuff.
Wait, who's saying this?
Jay, Underdog Jay, is saying that's how I bought my new Genesis GV50 or something, GV80.
By blackmailing others.
Yes.
Wow.
저는 이거 잘해요. 저 이거 솔직히 얘기해서 잘하는데 이런 거 잘하고 뭐 그래서 뭐 GV80도 사고 그런 건데 그게 약간 그 이런 거 할 때 저도 감이라는 게 있잖아요. 2년.
Look at him. That's
And
how
he
I
says,
bought my
when I do this kind of
GV80.
thing, I can just feel it. You know, this person, that
I'm used
person,
to
whether
this.
they're going to give money or not, how much they can give, I can kind of sense it. You feel that Tzuyang is going to give the money cleanly, or she's going to backstab you later, and you feel like she's going to backstab you later? I mean, I'd have to meet with her in the agency in person to really know. To be honest, I don't think so. They seem like people that are crazy about money. If they can't make money anymore, that's going to be very bad. I think they're going to try to prevent the exposure of this news by any means necessary. And, you know, I got a lot of expenses coming up these days, too, so it might be the time. He's like, I have some bills to pay.
Yeah.
And the two of them continue to talk about how Tzuyang got caught for tax evasion. To which Jin continues, I mean, Tzuyang just seems shady, no matter how you look at it, but her image online seems to be so well crafted for people. So I'm thinking, I was trying to make contact, right? But if you expose Tzuyang, if you make a video on Tzuyang, my negotiating power with Tzuyang's side decreases. So I just wanted to discuss it. He's like, hey, this is what he's saying. Hey, before I blackmail Tzuyang, can you let me know if you're going to make a video? Because if you expose the news, then I can't really blackmail her for it. It's now public information.
Crazy.
Underdog Jay is saying, I don't know. First, I need to meet with them in person to know if they're safe or dangerous people.
You're dangerous
And he
yourself.
says, but I'm going to make a video in advance. Wait, really? What do you mean?
한번 일단 저는 영상을 미리 만들어 놓을 거예요. 왜냐면은
진짜로?
아니 왜냐면 이들이 내가 이거 경험해 봤잖아.
뭐라고? 이걸 뭐라고?
내가 취재 요청을 하잖아요.
네네네.
그러면은 지들이 먼저 사무소 쳐가지고 자백하면서 해명하고 막 감성팔이하고 이지를 하더라고요.
Now, Jay goes on to say that he's going to make a video and unlist it onto YouTube. So what that means is he's going to film a YouTube video, like from start to finish. Hi, my name is Jay, the YouTuber. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm exposing Tzuyang today. He's going to edit it, post it onto YouTube. And in the video settings of YouTube, you can make it unlisted. Now, unlisted means if I send you the link, you can watch the video. But it's not going to show up on anybody's subscription tab. It's not going to show up on the homepage of anybody's YouTube or on the mobile app.
Invite only video.
Yes, invite only through the link. So he says he's going to make an unlisted video because he says, I've experienced this before, okay? If I request an interview with a YouTuber or with an influencer or a celebrity, you know, then they're going to make the first move, confessing and explaining while playing on emotions and crying and trying to be the victim and spin the story their way first and all of that freaking crap. So he's saying he's going to have a video locked and ready.
So if they don't cooperate, he will release it right away.
No, he's saying if I reach out to Tzuyang and her agency, she might be like, oh no, he knows. I gotta make a video first.
But if he send a video to them directly,
Yeah,
say, watch what I have.
yeah. And if they don't respond, then he can make it public instantly. He doesn't have to, because the amount of time for him to press a few buttons to make it public versus they have to come up with their side of the story, sit down, film a YouTube video, edit it, and then post it online. The time difference is different.
I can't believe this.
Yeah. And Jin is confused. Is Tzuyang really that type? I mean, I don't think that Tzuyang is going to be able to resolve this information with just emotional appeal to her viewers and explanations. But Jen, did you know this? Tzuyang is paying two girls she used to work with at the hostess bar $4,300 each, totaling over $8,000 a month. Hush money. They work at the hostess bars.
Is that
when
a
you say
bad thing to
hostess
work in
bar,
a hostess bar? Is that bad?
is it?
So they say room salon. I opted to say hostess bar because room salon in South Korea is very much implied that it's a bar that involves sex work.
No, I didn't do that.
Which
Not
is
that one.
ita, which they call like second level. And hostess bar is kind of, the bars where they spend time with the clients, but it's not guaranteed that there is after activities. She worked at a room salon. She stated that she never engaged in sex work.
All right, the hostess bar I'm thinking of, I don't know what they talk about. The one I'm thinking of is when they walk around in like maid outfits and stuff, and they serve you drinks and stuff. That's how it is. I don't know what they're talking about, spend money with clients and stuff like that, because I don't even speak Japanese. But I'm talking about the one they walk around with like different. It depends on which one you go to. Sometimes they have like anime or maid outfits, or they have just something like it's like sexy attire or something like that, and they serve you drinks and stuff like that. It's a pretty cool thing. I don't know what they talking about. Room salon. I didn't do that one. I just want to clear that up, so y'all don't be going around here reporting me to the cyber wreckers and whatnot.
So, but they keep referring to it as a room salon, which the heavy implication is that it's almost guaranteed sex work. So I'm saying hostess bar. She did not engage in sex work, but she did work at a bar where it does involve kind of entertaining customers and pouring their drinks and spending time with them. Versus just like a bartender, here, I mixed you a drink. Okay, next.
I see.
Yes. And Jin is so confused. Oh my God, really? She's paying these girls hush money? Amazing. Wow. Okay, but look, so Tzuyang's company is doing this because she's still making a lot of money and it's more profitable for them to pay hush money, right? And Jay says, for example, let me tell you what I'm scared of, right? If this breaks out, they're screwed, okay? But if I get sued, at worst, I'm going to get a fine of maybe like a few $1,000s. So Tzuyang's company is doing this because she's still making a lot of money and it's still more profitable for her to pay these girls hush money, right? Underdog Jay says, okay, let me break it down for you, right? Even if I get sued for blackmail, okay? At worst, I'm going to get a fine from the government of maybe a few $1,000s. If I want to do this big, I would say, in my opinion, we should get at least $150,000 in cash from Tzuyang to keep quiet on this. $150,000 in cash? That's really good. That's good. I don't know, but I'm not usually someone who takes this kind of thing, so don't misunderstand too much. All of a sudden, Jay is switching up. He went from, I bought my car from hush money to, I don't really ever do this type of stuff. But Jin is just ignoring him. Jin is like, I think it's actually a lot more practical and better for both sides in this case. I mean, I think it's going to help Tzuyang and her image if none of this gets out, and it's going to help us get some money, and I just feel like it's kind of a no-brainer. Underdog Jay is a little bit more pessimistic. I just have a feeling Tzuyang is going to backstab me, okay? I just have a gut feeling. I'm anxious and I'm afraid. But I mean, Jay, if they backstab us, how are they going to backstab us? Like sue us? File charges? Report us? It's not about suing. I'm afraid that they're going to expose us. Like, oh, Jay, the YouTuber asked me for money and is blackmailing. You think they'd do that? Then we need to choose our words carefully. Yeah, I'm afraid that those bastards might say that I asked them for money.
Wow,
but,
blackmailer is saying, oh my God, they're going to call me a blackmailer.
Oh no.
Oh no.
And Jin is like, well, I mean, if they start trouble with you, then it's obvious what we're going to expose them for. See, that's what I'm anxious about, Jin. That's what I'm anxious about, because once this gets a little bit of exposure, people are going to be like, oh my God, I bet Jay asks other people for money. Hasn't he done this before? I bet he's done this before. And then this kind of conversation continues. I mean, truly, I've never taken money to attack someone or turn a blind eye on something. I mean, I have received money before from people, but I gave all that money to the victims. So I'm gonna make a video first, and then maybe I'll give Tzuyang and her agency a call. Yeah, that's the plan. So regardless of his gut feelings, I guess he's gonna go through with it, and he's gonna call Tzuyang and try to blackmail her. And Jin is like, okay, sounds good. So after this phone conversation, the implication is that Jin is just following Jay's lead. Jay's gonna do all the work for the both of them, and Jin is gonna get a cut of that blackmail money.
Yeah.
Now, in the next phone call, Jay informs Jin that he talks to Tzuyang. He's like, I talked to her agency. I didn't talk to her directly, but I talked to her agency, and I wasn't able to get $150,000. I was able to get $7,000. And
Wait,
Jin is like, 7?
What are they going to do with 7?
That means they did successfully blackmail them.
Yes.
That's prison, jail.
Yeah.
That's
And he said, I got 7, and I can give you $2,000 because you have blackmail of her working at a hostess bar. I've got crazier blackmail on her that I'm not even going to tell you. Yeah, it's crazy. So I'm going to take 5. You're going to take like $2,200. And Jin is like, I mean, I'm just so surprised it's so low. But Jay is explaining to him, I mean, I wanted to get more, but if I do, Tzuyang's probably going to get beat up.
Beat up?
Yeah, this is the part where people are like, what does that even mean, right? What do you mean? And he goes on to say, also, I heard her story and she was like, they were just giving me her backstory and it's kind of sad. I kind of felt bad for her. Again, what does that mean? And so all I did was ask for like $7,000 and I'll give you about $2,200. Jin just goes along with it and he takes the money. And the truth is, Jay actually received a lot more than that. He received tens of thousands of dollars more than that. He took like $40,000 from Tzuyang. And he only gave Jin 2.
These people are crazy.
Yeah.
Like the shadiest of the shadiest people.
Oh yeah, it's really bad.
Like they're constantly trying to one up every single person around them.
Yeah.
And trying to freaking scam, blackmail, extort, like just do everything.
Like I don't think that they understand what a normal relationship with anybody is. It seems like they're literally vultures.
Wow.
It'd be like that, man.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
그렇죠?
그래서 제가 일단 말씀드릴게. 일단 저는 그래서 이거
How much is 5.5
550을
million won?
받았고
아, 예.
그 이후에 일단 저도 영상 업로드 한 걸 좀 안 했으니까 550을 받았어요.
네네.
총 1,100을 받은 거죠.
1,100이요? 아,
네.
2번 받았어요?
이게 아니라 하나는 이제 이런 식으로 유튜버들 오면 제가 연락해주는 대가.
네.
어떻게 보면 이제 리스크 매니지먼트 관리 차원에서 받은 거고.
네네.
지금 찌양 컨텐츠를 2번이나 중간에 내려버렸잖아요.
네네.
이제 그 나머지 550 같은 경우에는 이제 그 영상 콘텐츠에 대한 이제 수익 보전 차원에서 해드린 거고.
네네.
이렇게 해서 총 1,100을 받았고.
The next audio clip is of Caracula, the pretty well-liked cyber wrecker that helped with the Busan Roundhouse Kick case, that helped with the Parasite Actor case,
Yeah.
and Jay, Underdog Jay. The two of them are talking.
Like, I'm rich.
And he's warning Jay. He's telling Jay, if I were you, I wouldn't go against Tzuyang. I mean, just think about how valuable she is to YouTube as a platform. I mean, you're not really just going up against Tzuyang. You might be going up against YouTube at that point. Like, that's a little bit... I mean, he's saying from a YouTube standpoint, Tzuyang is a giant that gives birth to golden eggs. It's better not to mess with it.
He's telling him like not to blackmail Tzuyang?
Yeah, Jay is like, I'm about to blackmail Tzuyang. And Caracula, instead of being like, whoa, why would you commit a crime? I'm going to expose you for committing a crime. He's saying... I wouldn't do that. I just think she's not the person to do that to. She's way too big on YouTube. All it takes is probably one call from her to her YouTube manager and your channel is demonetized.
These people's logics are crazy.
Yeah, so he basically tells Jay, I would weigh out the options, you know, future monetization on all your videos or whatever number you're asking Tzuyang for, it's got to make sense. Like you're risking your whole YouTube career. This number better be good then. Yeah.
I have no words.
Yeah.
Wow.
All for what? All because Tzuyang used to work at a hostess bar? Is that really what they're blackmailing her for? Or is there something else?
No, I was saying, you can barely hear me. Yeah, I don't know. I might have to take some things off of the OBS thing because I put some filters on there because when I'm recording, it's like I don't want to hear no background noise and stuff like that. So it can sound muffled at times. But yeah, I was saying Twitch. I'm not posting anything on this channel, but it's going to be on Twitch. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, probably just I can't really talk while the video's talking. And you probably won't hear me. So I probably have to end up adjusting that at some point or raising it or lowering it or something.
Back in 2020, there was a huge YouTube scandal. So there's so many scandals involved, okay? In 2020, there was a huge YouTuber incident in South Korea, and it was the biggest topic at the time, under the table ads. Now, it was revealed that a lot of the top YouTubers in Korea were not disclosing their paid partnerships. They were getting paid in cash, in higher sums, to just pretend like they naturally like something instead of stating outright, hey, I do in fact like this product, but just to let you know, I am getting paid. So like, you know, that could obviously sway the way that I say things, but keep that in mind, okay? Instead, these top YouTubers would act like they themselves chose to spontaneously talk about this one product that they are just so head over heels for, just over the moon for, and these brands have no idea. They have no involvement in any of the things that they're saying, and then they would get a bunch of cash under the table for it. Another huge mukbanger, Eat with Bokki, was involved in that scandal. And this YouTuber named Cham PD went out on a live stream, and he was just so fed up with all of this. He was talking about how truly, being in this industry, he's seen so much of every single YouTuber of every single size. You could be talking 1,000 followers, 100,000 followers, 1 million followers, 10 million followers, and they're all taking under the table ads. Cham PD was very open about the conversation as he felt that it was very unfair to viewers. He said that they were being deceived by the people that they watch.
Is he another expose channel?
No, he's like a food reviewer.
Oh.
I wouldn't really call him a mukbang. I guess he's kind of a mukbanger, but he goes to more like restaurants. He's a foodie.
Oh. And he's talking about this, like, is he exposing the issue or he's commenting?
So a lot of mukbangers were exposed for it. So he was commenting on it.
Oh.
Because he was like, yeah, I mean, I've known about this and it's just so frustrating because...
But he didn't do that.
No. No. Okay. And at that time, he listed a few names, and Tzuyang was on that list of names. And he says, I can name them all, you know. The Korean YouTube industry is a mess. They're all guilty of completely manipulating their subscribers. Immediately after Cham PD's live stream, all the YouTubers that he stated had to post apology videos. But later, Tzuyang went on to post that, no, I never did any under-the-table advertisements, and maybe Cham PD got the wrong information, maybe he didn't realize that, or maybe he didn't do his research. So regardless, this whole situation was a mess, and it's important for later, so keep it in mind. But Cham PD had to post an apology video. And then he posted another video next to Tzuyang. The two of them filmed a video together. So he had just accused her of doing under-the-table advertisements. Tzuyang said, I never did that. And the two of them sit together, and Tzuyang can barely hold her head up. All of her hair is covering her face. She can't even look Cham PD in the eyes. She looks terrified for her life. And he apologizes to her on live stream. He even bows to her. Cham PD was heavily bullied after accusing one of the biggest, most beloved South Korean YouTubers wrongfully of shady business practices. His family was followed, he was bullied for years, and someone literally threw a rock at him on the street because they hated his guts. So now people are listening to this blackmail audio and they're thinking, okay, so she worked at a hostess bar. Is there more? Like, what else is going on? Is this the bigger scandal that they're referring to, that everything's getting redacted? Is she doing under the table ads still? Is this the scandal that she has to retire from? Like, what's going on? What is Underdog J keep alluding to? Because remember, Underdog J wouldn't tell Jin what he has on Tzuyang, but he kept saying it's big, it's big, it's big.
There's more than that.
Yeah.
More story.
He's like, oh, it's more than the room salon. Like, if I tell everyone what I know about Tzuyang, her career is over.
Okay.
So people are like, does it have anything to do with the 2020 ad scandal? Like, what's going on? A few hours after Kim posts the blackmail videos on YouTube, Tzuyang goes on live. She titles the live stream, I Will Tell You Everything. Right off the bat in the video, you can tell that she's not the happy, bubbly self that she normally is, which is fine considering it's a very tough topic. I mean, she's accused of a bunch of things, but you know, obviously there's something more in her demeanor. She seems really anxious and nervous. She keeps rubbing her palms together in almost like a self-soothing manner. Like every sentence, she'll just kind of rub her hands together as if she's trying to comfort herself. And she's trying very hard not to cry. You can tell that she's clearly taking this incredibly seriously, and she's trying to be as transparent as possible. I mean, she almost sounds like she's nervously rambling in the beginning. Her voice is shaky and sore, like she's been crying all day. And she states that she wants to address this because it's becoming a bit of an issue. It's a bit rushed. She doesn't have her thoughts collected or together or anything. Nothing is organized, but she feels like she needs to be the one to tell her viewers herself. She said, I know I turned on the live stream a bit rushed. It's a bit sudden, but anyway, I still think it's the right thing for me to do, to tell you quickly. She said that she doesn't have a script. She's just going to be talking from her emotions, and she has a few things she wrote down so she doesn't forget to share it. I don't even know how much I should share or where to start, but I have this thought. I think it's right for me to tell you how it all started and how it all ended. I think that would be the right way for me to handle it. So yeah, from beginning to end, I'm going to tell you my story. And she starts talking, not about tax evasion, not about under-the-table advertisements. She starts talking about a previous relationship that she had been in. She's taking a year off of university and she met this guy. At first, it was really nice. The relationship spiraled pretty quickly. He was treating her very well. They just kind of clicked. But soon after, he got very violent. And when she's talking about this part, you can tell it's still very fresh. Like the trauma is very strong. She keeps choking up and she has to stop multiple times to collect herself. And she keeps apologizing like, I'm sorry, I'm going to try and be clearer with my words. She starts talking about the abuse. She says it was like hell on earth for her. And she says she took a leave of absence from university. She was trying to make money and she meets this guy, Lee Dong-hyun. And very quickly he gets violent and she immediately decides the minute he gets violent, the first time, I'm going to leave. I'm not going to stay with someone like this. I'm not going to put up with this. But when she tries breaking up with him, he laughs and shows her his phone where he has a video of her, an intimate video that she did not know he filmed. And he basically told her, you break up with me and I'm going to spread this everywhere because you're not going to break up with me.
The blackmail is just
So from there, he
man.
felt like he held all of the power.
Man.
She said that after that attempted breakup, I got hit a lot. There were things that it just felt like hell. He would grab an umbrella and start hitting her. Or whatever innocent random object would be around, blunt objects, he would just start beating her with it, which would explain why her bruises were not necessarily like circular. Because if you were to shield yourself with your arm and someone whacks you with an umbrella, it could be a little bit more straight and a bit of a bigger blotch.
Wait, so this is when she was already big on YouTube?
No. She is in this relationship before YouTube. And it continues for years during her YouTube career. So very quickly, she said that he dragged her to his place of work, which was like a hostess bar. And he was a manager, and he said, you're going to be one of the girls here. You're going to be pouring drinks, and you're going to be flirting with male customers. Now, Tzuyang said there was no sex work involved, or at least she didn't participate in sex work. And she said at the time, while being beaten, he just forced me. He told me, you need to sit and pour drinks for customers. Just be the conversation partner. So at the time, I did the job of sitting and pouring drinks. And I couldn't tell my friends about being threatened. So I didn't even tell them when I was doing this job. And some people found out. I told them it's because I wanted to. It was just really for a short amount of time, not that long at all, that I worked at that bar. He took all the money that I earned and kept dragging me around every day. And I told my ex-boyfriend I was really sorry, but I couldn't do it anymore, that I wanted to stop. But again, he used violence and threatened to tell my family everything, so I couldn't resist. And he kept trying to gaslight her into going to work for these seedier bars, basically trying to get her to engage in sex work. And she kept saying, I don't want to. And he would explode at her. Well, how are you going to make me money then? That's when Tzuyang thought of doing the only thing that she could think of. A while before this, when she was still in class, she didn't have enough money for food, and everyone around her knew that she could eat. So they told her, hey, you should try mukbang. Like, they're killing it online these days. Everybody's doing mukbang. Maybe you can at least cover the money for food, right? She said, she told her boyfriend, I can try live streaming to earn money. I can try it that way. I can eat a lot. She starts her YouTube channel because of him. She said, I was beaten in the house that I did my very first broadcast in. She said for many years of her YouTube career, for 4 years, she had been a victim of SA, illegal filming, dating violence, blackmail, and extortion. For 4 years, she secretly went through all that abuse and was blackmailed. Her boyfriend took at least $3 million of YouTube earnings.
Jesus.
Because she very quickly rose to fame.
The boyfriend took all her earnings too?
Practically all her earnings. Over the span of 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
못 하겠더라고요. 속기 들어보면은
네네.
뭐
확실히
뭐 너 한 번만 더 나한테 반항하면 너
You can
임신
find me one
시켜버릴
more
거고야
time,
부터
I'll get you
해가지고
pregnant.
어디서 씨발 뭐 출신 걸레년이 지금 뭐 손 뭐 해가지고 너 내가 퍼뜨리면 너 자살해야 돼 막 이런 것도 좀 심하고
네네.
그리고 그걸로 해가지고 한 13억 뜯겼어요.
Yeah. He refused to let her go. She said, I was beaten twice a day. I did videos while being beaten every day, even after the videos. He hit my body, saying my face would show signs of abuse. He took all the money that I earned from my first broadcast. My boyfriend would hit my body just to make sure that nobody can tell. And I didn't even have enough money to order the fried chicken to eat during the videos. Like, she was left with nothing. I do think that her YouTube channel was a double-edged sword. Yes, she was doing this to make him money, and he was holding that as control over her. But at the same time, she stated she really loved doing videos. She really loved the mukbangs. She said it was really the only thing in her life that she enjoyed. Even if he was taking all the money from it, she said, I love doing the videos so much, and I would be so happy reading comments, and every time I would do it, and every time I would read the live stream comments, it was just so comforting, and it made me so happy that I think that I was able to endure it for so long. I mean, that was truly the biggest thing for me. I just loved communicating with viewers so much, and I wanted to keep doing it. And there were a lot of things that I couldn't tell you guys about, but I'm really so grateful to those who supported me, and I just was so grateful beyond words. Eventually, as her channel exploded, he wanted to find more ways to monetize her, basically as his captive. He created an ad agency, a management agency, where he was 70% owner and she was 30% owner. He would take 70% of all of her earnings without doing any of the work, which 30% of millions of dollars is still a lot of money, but she barely saw that too. If he wanted more money, which was all the time, he would just take it. It's unclear if she even consistently saw anywhere near 30% of her own earnings during the time that he was in control. And this is really strange, but he would even give blackmail material to his friends on Tzuyang and tell them, hey, if you ever need money, blackmail Tzuyang.
That's crazy.
Me. This is...
Why is he doing this?
What the...
He's letting his own friends make money from her by blackmailing her. It's so strange. She was blackmailed by his friends to the tune of $150,000. She did everything herself, filming, recording, eating, editing, everything. He did nothing. On top of that, any advertisements, like sponsorships, she would see zero revenue. Zero. She said, as my broadcast grew bigger and became more successful, my boyfriend created that agency. And at the time, I signed that very unfair contract where 70% of the profits went to him. I didn't even have my ID card. My boyfriend didn't even follow the contents of the contract. So really, I didn't receive any of the advertising revenue. The reason that I didn't think of resisting at the time was I was so ashamed that if anything negative about me was revealed, I just wanted to not be mentioned anywhere anymore. I was just really young and naive at the time. So it's fascinating because you would think that originally, once she starts getting a little bit of recognition on YouTube, she would feel a little bit more free. But it was actually a bit more daunting because the idea of something negative being released, now there's more people talking about it. It becomes a conversation, and the pressure of that, I don't even know on her scale. Her scale is insane. But even on a smaller scale, it's a lot.
It's like millions of people already know you, and that's millions of people will judge you, right?
I think it's crazy, me personally. Like I said, it's just one of those things where it's just like, why would you, she didn't do anything to him. And it's just like, you giving people ammunition. Like the fact that she was able to get on camera and smile and kind of like play it off in front of hundreds and millions of people without anyone even catching on is insane to me. That's, man. Can you imagine that? You're getting beat, you're not getting paid, and you're forced to make videos. And the only way you've been able to stay sane is just by reading the support from the people in the comment section that was pretty much unaware of what was going on behind closed doors. Like it's super disturbing, man. You just never know. You just never know. But yeah, I'm sorry that my mic might be a little bit low. I've been trying to fix that. So let me know if it's a little bit better. I've been trying to look around for the settings and see if that's been working. But I do not know. As much as I'm on the computer, you would think I would know how to adjust this and all that stuff, but I'm on my OBS and I'm looking around, and the filters and all that stuff, I've turned them off. So I don't know if that helps or doesn't help. Just let me know if it is or it doesn't. And if not, then I'll just keep on trying to figure it out while the video goes.
Yes,
like
or be disappointed in you, or feel like you harmed them, or feel betrayed by you for whatever reason. It's just so much pressure that she starts feeling, like this pressure to be the person that her audience wants her to be. When behind closed doors, so much is happening that nobody knows about. The channel did grow to the size where they did need to hire full-time staff, which is very reasonable in South Korea. Even smaller YouTubers have like a full team in Korea. It's a very common thing. Tzuyang hires a production team, and her ex has no fear, no shame in beating her in front of them. He would just beat her. If they tried to protect her or break up this one-sided violent fight, he would start smashing cameras and monitors in the set, like in the room.
How is nobody
Bro, I would have been like,
because again, Tzuyang didn't want them to.
I see.
She would beg him, and she said, and because these things were happening, I really couldn't endure it anymore. So recently I begged my boyfriend to leave, saying I would give him all the money that I had, all the assets. But the answer I always got back was, it's not enough. That's what he always said. For 4 years, he always said things like, you know, you're broadcasting because of me, right? All your money is mine, and everything you earn in the future is mine too. Eventually, he starts threatening to kill staff members to have more control over her.
Wow.
I'm assuming by this point, so originally, maybe the first few years of her YouTube channel, she's feeling that pressure, and it actually becomes more of a chain to him, that she doesn't want to disappoint her viewers. But I think at the end of the 4 years, whether it's her being emotionally fed up, physically fed up, or perhaps her YouTube channel has grown to the size where maybe it's giving her strength, like maybe her viewers are giving her the confidence that she needs, it feels like he senses he's losing his grip on her. I mean, sure, he has blackmail, but she's kind of becoming a bit of a wild card. She's the name, she's the face of the brand. She could run away and try to expose him for the truth, or she could be so fed up that she's ready to burn the house down with both of them in it. She could be at the stage where she's like, who cares if we lose it all? Let's lose it all together. He seems nervous, and he starts threatening to kill her family, her friends, and even her staff members if she doesn't do as what he says. She tries to pay him off to get him to leave her alone, and he refuses.
Because he likes the manipulation.
She said that is where she drew the line. Because at this point, for the past few years, she had desensitized herself to the threats. Even the physical violence, she was so desensitized. She was so detached from it. But her employees were like her family. She did not want anything to happen to them. And they were the reason that she felt like she could fight him. She said they couldn't stand watching us, that we should file a lawsuit together, that I could quit broadcasting. Even if they lose their jobs, they didn't care. And I told them, no, it's too painful for me to fight right now, and I don't want to do any of this. I beg the employees, don't do anything, okay? It's okay. It's going to be okay.
She shouldn't have to live.
But they cared for me so much. They didn't even talk about things around me to avoid hurting me, and they were so careful with their words, and they always did everything for me. They were like family, and I didn't want to quit because of them. Honestly, even though those days were like hell, I was still so happy with the employees who loved me and stayed with me. And I loved the love that I received. I loved it so much when viewers liked me, to the point where I wondered if it was okay for me to even receive this kind of love while I was hiding everything behind the scenes. But now there's nothing that I'm hiding anymore. Yeah, everything's out in the open. This is her live stream. I'm going to try and endure as much as I can for as long as I can. I don't want to ever bring harm to the employees who treated me like family or their families by hiding, and quitting my broadcast is not going to solve anything. So no matter how much I'm cursed at or I'm hated on after all of this, I am going to endure it for as long as I can. Tzuyang's lawyer was on the live stream with her, and she stated that they have a mountain of evidence against the ex-boyfriend. She said, Tzuyang's suffering was immense, and the evidence is extensive. There are over 3,800 files containing details of her victimization, and as a criminal defense attorney handling many cases, this one was shockingly severe. She also briefly mentions how when she first started taking on Tzuyang's case, Tzuyang was too scared to do anything, to even talk to her. She had to talk to Tzuyang's staff.
Wait, so Tzuyang has decided to go after the ex-boyfriend? Is
Yes.
that why the lawyer is saying that?
Yes. Now, Tzuyang says, so only recently was I able to become independent like this, and I don't want to be known in this way. Even if I'm a victim, I still did bad things, right? So she's saying she still technically participated in under-the-table ads because her boyfriend forced her to do it.
Oh, so she did do it.
Yes.
But earlier you say...
Oh, we're going to get there. So she's saying that she did things that she probably shouldn't have done in her career because her boyfriend forced her to.
Okay.
And so she's saying she still wants to be held responsible, and she did do wrong. She is owning up to that. And she says, but I think I always had it in my heart that someday I wanted these things to be revealed. That's why I turned on this live stream so quickly today, because I haven't been free from anxiety for the past 5 years. And now I have the confidence to speak about it. I think many people will be really disappointed about me pretending to be okay all this time. I'm sorry for hiding all of this. I really just didn't want to talk about it online. So I'm sorry if you feel like I was hiding a big part of something from you. I'm really sorry, and I regret my actions and choices. I'm sorry. The one thing that I always tried to live by was don't harm others around you. So never, not even once have I ever harmed anyone. I've never done anything violent or anything like that. So, I mean, even when I was harmed, I endured to never harm others. She ends the live stream by saying, thank you. I tried really hard not to cry while watching the supportive comments, and I'm really thankful. So thank you, and thank you. And I'm really grateful to each and every one of you.
Okay, so
I hope that she doesn't get charged with anything. I get it. Like, she's trying to, like, I did it. I could have stopped myself from doing it. But it's not. I feel like it's deeper than that. I feel like she wasn't able to be herself due to being pressured and manipulated and beaten by her ex-boyfriend. So I really hope the courts don't charge her with anything, because you would do, like, when you do things out of force, fear, and intimidation, I feel like it's not really you. You're doing what you have to do to survive. You know what I mean? So she shouldn't apologize. I really don't like when victims apologize for something that something that's not their fault. You know what I mean? And I feel like they feel like it is their fault, and it's not, because you have horrible human beings out there that'll make it feel like you're the reason they're doing what they're doing. And it's just like, it's a lame ass excuse for being a poor ass human being in life. And I just wish she didn't apologize. So she really has nothing to apologize for. Like, it takes a lot of courage and bravery to come out and say something like this, or even come out to millions of people and tell people what's going on in your life, because a lot of people are not capable of doing that. And showing people what it really was. And like I said, I don't take it as her pretending. It was just, she was surviving. She had to do what she had to do in order to stay alive. And who knows what this dude was capable of. His dude was out of his mind. He was batshit crazy. He started insulting and threatening the damn production staff, threatening to break cameras. This dude didn't care. He had no filter. He didn't care who seen him. He did not give a damn about her. He didn't give a damn about the camera people. All he cared about was him and the money. I don't even know what he did with all that money. Hopefully they go back and explore what he was doing with all this money that he's doing. He probably was out there gambling or drinking or spending it on stupid shit, and then getting mad at her when he was broke again. It's just like, bro, go get a job, go do something, make your own video or something. You know what I mean? Like, stop being a vulture, bro. Dude was a dickhead. Like, that's just the best way I can put it, man. Yeah, definitely. He definitely was gambling, because that's insane that you just blowing through money like that. $3 million? Like, bruh, there's no way. You doing something you're not supposed to be doing. Dude had to be some kind of alcoholic or some shit, or on something, because dude is just, this can't be normal behavior. Like, man, it sucks. You get these nice, great women, and then the shitty dudes just ruin it for everybody, bro. Everybody. Oh my Lord. And then you start getting these women that put up walls and stuff because what the last dude did to them, and then they're in constant fear of you and stuff. Like it's horrible, man. But let's get back into it. I don't want to talk too much, but hopefully my mic is a little bit better because sometimes I don't talk loud, but I've been trying to fix it still. So don't think I'm not paying attention to the video because I am, but I'm also trying to make sure you guys are hearing me when I do stop the video to talk to you guys. So I am listening and trying to figure it out at the same time.
He went live because the recording of the blackmail conversation was released.
Oops, so everyone is like, she worked at a hostess bar. She did tax evasion. What is this other thing that Underdog Jay is talking about? Like, what did she do that is so bad? So then she goes online and is like, hey, I need to tell you my story, first of all. This is why I started YouTube. This is what's been happening behind the scenes. And there have been instances, maybe we did evade taxes like the management company did, but it's because it was out of my control. So she's saying, like, we're looking into it. I don't know. I didn't have any control at that time. I don't know what he did with anything.
I see.
I was literally just, like, forced to make videos. So, like, I don't know what to say.
Okay, so now people listening to this, they're like, oh my God, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Tzuyang is being controlled and abused and
Yes.
essayed by ex-boyfriend.
Yes, and beaten, like, right after she stops filming her videos every single day for 4 years.
Okay, so that was the biggest news, I see.
And as for her ex-boyfriend, is he in jail now? That's what everyone wants to know. Is he in jail? What happened to him? Well, no, because he's dead. According to Tzuyang's attorney, Tzuyang filed a lawsuit against her ex-boyfriend for habitual assaults, threats, injury, and extortion, as well as coercion and violation of the Sexual Violence Punishment Act. Tzuyang was seeking $3 million in settlement funds, stating that is how much he took from her YouTube career. She's not even asking for more money. She's like, hey, just give me the money that you literally took from my career. And she wants out of the unfair contract where he gets 70% of her earnings for the agreed upon amount of time. So Tzuyang states that she never, ever wanted to file a criminal complaint against him, but like she said, he was trying to threaten to kill her employees, so she had to draw the line. She contacted attorneys, lawyered up, filed the charges. There were 2 lawsuits against him. One of it was criminal, so the prosecutor's office was looking into him for his crimes, and then the other one was civil, which is between 2 parties. He was facing $3 million in settlement funds that he had to repay back, money he did not have because apparently he was blowing it all after stealing it from Tzuyang. And 2, he was facing up to 5 years in prison for all of his crimes. Now, the cases were both closed, the civil and the criminal lawsuits, because he self-exited. We don't know too many details about his self-exit, but we do know that he passed away with his mom. This is very interesting.
With his mom?
Yes. So we know that his mom and he died around the same time. Both of them died in cars, but there's no further details. Whether it was a car accident, whether it was carbon monoxide poisoning, it's unclear. And they weren't even in the same car. Yeah.
That's just
so
weird.
he
They say
self-exited.
he self-exited. Why?
Oh, he just couldn't handle it. The
He couldn't
idea...
handle the lawsuit?
Yeah, he couldn't handle the idea that he was facing 5 years in prison. His name was about to be disgraced, and he owed her over $3 million.
Oh, but he was bad when,
Really?
And it's
when no one
fascinating
knew, though.
because Tzuyang was in a living hell for the past 4 years of her life, getting beat twice a day with an umbrella. And the first sign of something difficult, such as, I don't know, the consequences of your own actions, he just could not handle it. One netizen wrote, the fact that that man crumbled instantly, but this woman stayed strong, though, through it all, shows how amazing that she is, how resilient. He ends up self-exiting with his mom. So the cases are closed, and nobody really found out about it. This was a while back, before this blackmail tape was released this year. Like perhaps a year ago.
Did she release this information or?
Her attorney did.
Oh.
Her attorney released this information. So after all of this is revealed, Tzuyang starts clearing things up and sharing her side of the story. And most people, I would say, almost all people were very supportive of Tzuyang. They just wanted to help in any way that they could. Her subscriber count surged to over 200,000 new followers in 24 hours after her initial live stream. One comment reads, "Just give life sentences to those trash who blackmail with tapes. Thank you for never giving up in your life. You're stronger than anyone I know. Thank you so much for enduring all of that. Take a good rest, and we're going to be back when you get back. We will all be waiting for you." The former agency CEO is really a terrible person. Dying by self-exit without facing punishment. Horrible human being. I hope he receives burning punishment in hell every single day. But a few netizens were focused on something else. They were asking, wait, then who the hell is the leak? So if the ex-boyfriend is dead, who reached out to all these YouTubers to give them blackmail material on Tzuyang?
His friends.
Because they're thinking, okay, if the ex-boyfriend is alive...
But what are they even trying to blackmail her with? They're saying basically she's like doing illegal...
That she worked at a hostess bar in the past. That she is potentially evading taxes because that's what the boyfriend was doing. And that she was probably still doing under-the-table ads, even though she said she wasn't in 2020.
I would argue, right, me personally, I would argue that I wasn't able to pay my taxes because old dude was, you know, controlling all my money. I didn't have anything to spend. He took everything from me. So how is it my fault, you know, or my client's fault that she wasn't able to pay her taxes due to the aggressive and violent behavior of her departed ex crazy ass boyfriend? You know what I mean? Like, that's just me, but... Yeah, I agree, Tiffany. If he hired a forensic accountant, he probably moved that to another account or even gave it to his mom. Like, I don't, like I said, she's not at fault at all. And I feel like she feels like she's guilty because she allowed it to kind of like for him to do it. But it's not like she didn't like allow it. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's crazy, bro. And I feel like that's a weenie way to go out. That's a super sucker way. Like, you're a buster for that, bro. Like, you did all that talking and doing all that exploiting, and you're going to do this and do that. Put her through all them years of hell, and you get one confrontation and you did self-act. Like, bro, come on, man. Yeah, people like that, bro, it's just insane to me. I thought you was bad, bro. You was the baddest man in town before everybody found out what you did, and then you gonna go and do that. Like, bro, all right.
I see. Wow.
Like, who would reach out to these YouTubers like Jay and Jin and give them these materials if it's not the ex-boyfriend, because the ex-boyfriend is dead? A while back, maybe a year back, Tzuyang gets a call from an attorney, and he tells Tzuyang's agency, he doesn't meet with Tzuyang in person, he meets with her producers, and he tells the producers, I'm starting a new business. I'm going to be selling air fresheners and maybe some deodorant. And I would like this to be promoted on the biggest channel in South Korea. I want Tzuyang to endorse my products. The producers are looking at the attorney like, first of all, what do you know about air fresheners? And second of all, I mean, this just does not align with Tzuyang's YouTube channel. It's just so, what is she going to do? Be eating Korean barbecue and then show off the air freshener? It's just a little bit weird. I don't think that she's going to feel comfortable. And he says, okay, yeah, no, that's completely fine. So instead of promoting my business for me, I just want you guys to pay me about $1,200 a month for the indefinite foreseeable future.
The attorney?
Yeah. The attorney is like, hey, promote my product for free. No, you don't want to do that? Okay, then Tzuyang, you pay me forever. Or until I say I don't want to be paid anymore.
Okay.
So he gets paid $1,200 a month. In total, Tzuyang paid him $17,000. Because why? Because this attorney is one of the few people that knows the truth about Tzuyang's ex-boyfriend and the whole situation with him. Because this attorney was Tzuyang's dead boyfriend's attorney.
He is here to blackmail her?
Yes.
Attorney is a blackmailing her?
Well, he says it's not blackmail. He said that he signed on, that was a retainer. He was providing advisory services for Tzuyang. This, okay.
What in the world?
Attorney Choi Woo-seok is the attorney for Tzuyang's ex-boyfriend. When Tzuyang sued her ex-boyfriend, he hires attorney Choi.
Yeah.
Attorney Choi takes on his case. He knows all the information, of course he does, between the ex-boyfriend and Tzuyang. Ex-boyfriend dies. The attorney goes to Tzuyang and is like, hey, my new business, promote it.
I don't even know how to like process the level of this situation.
Man.
Yeah.
Everybody
No,
Number
fake.
one, you are attorney. Number two, you represented a abuser and you lost the case. Your client was a fucking trash.
Yeah.
But you turn around, you're like, let me harass the victim even more for more money.
Yes.
Like, I don't even know how to process how fucked up
It's
this
super.
is.
Yes,
Super
but
fucked
it's
up.
going to get even worse. Because a few months prior to him approaching Tzuyang and her whole company to promote his new products, he anonymously emailed a bunch of YouTubers tips on Tzuyang. Anonymous leaks. For what reason? We don't know.
An attorney.
This is crazy. This doesn't even sound real. Like every single dude
Yeah.
in here is trying to blackmail her.
Now, this is the public's perception. Of course, he's an attorney. What is he going to do? Blackmail me? Okay. So basically, this is the public's perception of what the attorney did. He goes to these YouTubers, emails these anonymous tips, because I will say that one reoccurring theme in today's case is it appears that some of these men just have a chip on their shoulder that a woman is doing better than them. Because truly, for this attorney, I don't know why he would email these anonymous tips to these YouTubers, because what does he gain to benefit? He's
Have a good day at
anonymous.
work, Anna. I
He's not
appreciate
making
it.
money. So he emails Jay, he emails Jin, and is like, hey, here's some insider news about Tzuyang. And then for months, they don't do anything because they're colluding onto blackmailing her. Okay? Time passes, and the attorney is like, well, I got nothing out of that, and Tzuyang is doing better than ever, and I'm starting a new business. So I'm going to ask her to promote my business. Oh, she doesn't want to promote my business? Then maybe she just pays me money in cash.
Wow.
So just to recap all of this, okay? Tzuyang meets a guy. He forces her to make money for him at a hostess bar. She refuses. He beats her, blackmails her, keeps her in this relationship, this violent relationship. She starts a YouTube channel to make him money. She ends up becoming a successful YouTuber. He makes millions of dollars, steals it all from her, doing none of the work, and then finally gets what's coming to him. He gets sued. He hires an attorney who does all of this, that emails two YouTubers about all of her scandalous past. These two YouTubers start talking about how they're gonna get money out of Tzuyang. Then another YouTuber stumbles upon these audio tapes of them committing a crime. And he hates one of those YouTubers, so he sends it to another YouTuber. That YouTuber is like, you know what? I don't want people talking about Miryang, so I'm gonna use this to cover that up. Sends it to another YouTuber, and that YouTuber goes, you know what? This could be good publicity for my channel. I'm gonna post it.
Wow.
And what's crazy is all of them knows damn well that
What the-
she's a victim in
Yes.
this story.
Savage.
And posting this
People
is
don't
something that she
care.
didn't want this to be public.
No.
And it will ruin her
Money.
whole life.
Yeah, and truly, like, what they gain from it is so stupid. Publicity, revenge on your little emotional beef between you and your buddy. Oh, sorry you're friends with essayers. Maybe you shouldn't have been. Like, what
And
is...
this piece of audio get passed by so many big YouTubers,
And
and
every
none of them.
Every single time you think one of them is going to come to their senses and try to do something about it, whether it's go to Tzuyang herself and say, I have this, maybe you need to take this to the police, maybe I can take it to the police with you,
Right.
or something. No, they look at it, they hear it, they see all the trauma, and they go, you know what, how can I use this to benefit myself? Whether it's because they want to get revenge on a former friend, whether it's they want to help their friends cover up their essay crimes of a middle schooler, whether it's they just want publicity for their political career, whether it's they want money. Like, a woman's life and career is a complete afterthought. She is just collateral damage in their hysterically emotional games that they're playing.
Man, it's
The
sad,
anonymous
man.
tipster, Attorney
Like,
Choi, made a statement
her a
on his
break,
blog
bro.
after all of this was exposed that he is the leak. He said, hello, this is Attorney Choi. Thinking about the Jay incident and the audio tapes makes me angry. Reporting tax evasion was a public tip-off that I made to a YouTuber, but I didn't expect it to be used to extort money from the YouTuber. So he's saying, I told Jay about tax evasion, but I didn't expect him to blackmail Tzuyang. Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm just, wow.
He said there are many parts that are not true to this story, but regardless of the reason, I'm sorry. I can't go into specifics, but it's frustrating that for years, events have become fixed as being true based on a few phone calls with me. I intend to live humbly. I will provide free legal consultations and support for those in legal blind spots. My office is always open, so please feel free to reach out or visit. I'll offer a warm cup of coffee and assistance to those in need.
And then get blackmailed.
Oh, yeah.
By your attorney.
Yeah.
That's what anybody
Shady
will
ass
get
attorney.
if you go to this person. Like,
Forget attorney-client privilege.
yeah, he will blackmail you for money.
Yeah, and guess what, Attorney Choi? Sue us, okay? Which I don't know if he has a fan or likely he wrote this comment himself, but there's a comment under that blog post that reads, "Don't leave malicious comments here, you will be reported." The attorney responds to that comment, "I don't plan on reporting anyone. I would rather use that time to work for the public." As if he is this holier than thou public servant of the year. But that's not even the unhinged part. The unhinged part is that before he was outed as being the anonymous tip sender, he wrote an article about Tzuyang's case when it exploded. Right when the blackmail tapes came out, he wrote an article about it because everybody was talking about it. He wrote a legal article acting as if he had no connection to this case. He wrote, "In this instance, would a crime of defamation be established? There are two types of defamation: defamation under the Information and Communications Network Act and defamation under the Criminal Act." He's literally acting like a random attorney online that's giving their input on this mainstream media news that's unfolding.
He's the one that did it.
Netizens commented on this whole situation of him being involved, saying, "I feel so bad for Tzuyang. There are so many people attacking her, and to think that even a lawyer is doing it? I mean, how many people are trying to bring this girl down? Why are there so many old bastards trying to get something out of her? It's f***ing scary. Ridiculous that somebody works so hard to become an attorney and then leaks information to YouTubers. Why are there so many trash, crazy people out there? Even this attorney is crazy?"
Yeah, exactly.
I feel nauseous thinking about her case. How many people are trying to get something out of a 20-something-year-old girl? I mean, my heart truly hurts. I applaud Tzuyang for getting the courage to speak out about it. I hope the rest of her life is filled with just good memories.
I know.
It's so sad that we still live in a world where everything a woman has worked for, her career, her success, everything means nothing to anyone as long as someone thinks that they can call her a or has some sort of weakness about them. And to think that she is the most powerful YouTuber in South Korea makes this all more depressing. One of the main YouTubers who were involved in the initial phone call, the blackmail calls, Jin, he makes the first apology video. This is not the main guy, Underdog J. This is Jin. So he's like the one calling, like, oh.
That got like $2,000 from the blackmail.
So that's the thing, though. Now it just seems like, for me, it's kind of like one of those things. It's kind of like, are you apologizing because we found out the footage and a blackmail video that your guy is going to do, so now you don't want to have all that heat negativity on your channel? Or are you just thoroughly apologizing because you didn't know the full extent of what she was enduring this whole entire time? You know what I mean? I feel like that's where we're at right now. Like, are you really apologizing because you care, or are you just apologizing so people can think you're a good person? But I just feel like those blackmailing videos like did it. Like, it kind of just showed who you really were. And the thing about the blackmailing videos is just kind of like, it's stupid. Like, why are you recording a criminal conversation? It's just stupid. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like they say, like, dumb criminals get caught. Like, why are you recording? Like, I'm glad they're stupid because, you know, it helped to show people how they really are. But it's just like, why would you record you doing something that you shouldn't be doing and then giving somebody your phone with the incriminating information on it? You know what I mean? It's just stupid. That's like me robbing a bank and then being on Facebook Live like, oh yeah, I'm about to go in here and rob this bank right now, and I'm showing my face and like, bro, what? It's stupid. You know what I mean? And like I said, it's just one of those things to where now she's in a position of like, you can't trust anybody. Now she got two good lawyers, but the other attorney, it's like, well, if you don't promote my car air fresheners or whatever it is, you got to pay me $1,200 a month. It's just like, bro, air fresheners, you're literally about to go to the extreme because she didn't want to promote your air fresheners and she didn't want to, you know, in the middle of her crisis, you're talking about air fresheners, bro. I don't give a damn about no damn air fresheners. You know what I mean? It's just, people are sick, man. Like, money, man. Money is the root of all evil. But like I said, it's not for everybody. But most people, they see the dollar signs and they just start being weird. They see money and start acting weird and goofy and stuff like that. That's why I'm like, I lend people money sometimes, bro. Like sometimes I do it and sometimes I don't, because it breaks friendships, it breaks connections, man. And I just don't do it. Like I just stopped doing it over time, because you do it once and then people start coming back and looking for you to do it again and again and again. The minute that you tell them that you don't have it, they get an attitude with you like it's your fault. Like some people might not understand that. Some people in this comment section might, or people that's watching this video in the future might, but I just stopped doing it, man. I just don't do it anymore, because it's just so much negativity behind it, and I just rather not have it. Sometimes myself, like I'd be sitting here sometimes like, dang, I wish I had more money so I could live comfortable. But then I think about all the other stuff that's going to decrease when I do get it. You know what I mean? I feel like my happiness is going to go somewhere else, and I'm just going to find happiness in the wrong things. And I'm just going to get bored, and I'm just going to end up doing something else with it that I shouldn't be doing. You know what I mean? But she's just not the first person to come out and say things like this. There's a lot of celebrities that we lost, you know, due to things that they were experiencing that we didn't know about. It's easy for us to get lost in front of like cameras and big TV screens and movie screens and stuff like that, and not really know what's going on. So it's sad. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know what it feels like, because I've never been through any of this, but I try my best to put myself in their shoes and kind of like get an understanding of what it is that they've, you know, endured for that long. Because I couldn't fathom waking up being forced to do something that I don't want to do, when you know deep down you just don't want to do it, and you just don't know how to get rid of that person. You don't know how to maneuver. You don't know how many options you have. If you do this, will this happen? If you don't do that, what will happen if I do? You know, it just, I couldn't. So like I said, kudos to her to come out and put everybody on the spot, because I'm pretty sure the ex-boyfriend wasn't expecting her to come out and say everything like she was going to say. So I'm glad she did, because it shut everybody up real quick. Like, all right, you want to do this? Now you're threatening the people that work for me, that's love me and support me. Now you got to go. And, you know, he did it to himself. So, yeah.
Now, it's an apology video that he starts off by basically stating more accusations and just baseless rumors against Tzuyang. He's like, by the way, I also received other tip-offs that her voice is so raspy because she throws up after every video. And it's like, what are you doing right now? And
I don't think he can help himself.
He says it as if he's just being so transparent and stating the facts of how everything went down, but it's so clear that he's hoping to cause more harm to Tzuyang, or he's hoping that this will be the main conversation that people will talk about.
Yes. Like I think he said that because he truly believed that this will discredit her. Like this will make her seem like a liar or a fake person or whatever it is. Like he does not feel sorry. He's still trying to find a way to wiggle his room out of this.
And what makes it even more disgusting and vile is like, this is not true, by the way. Like she has multiple times had public doctor's checkups where she's like live streaming doctor's visits. They are testing her, and a lot of the doctors have even talked about very few people have conditions where they don't metabolize the food well, so they don't actually consume the calories of that. It's like in and out type of vibe, right? Even if this were true, which it's not, even if it were true, the fact that he thinks that the public will hate on her rather than feeling sympathy towards someone who potentially might have a condition that they are battling and struggling with is crazy.
Yeah, he's trying to manipulate the audience. Yeah.
What are you doing? Now, he thinks that this is going to steal all the attention away, but it's very hard to do when the rest of his video is a dumpster fire. He explains how he received a tip-off about Tzuyang in 2020, and he thought it was credible. It didn't really align with the content that he was producing. He was producing like, hey, this video is manipulated and staged. He wasn't really an expose social justice warrior channel talking about how YouTubers are committing tax evasion and working at hostess bars.
Is this from the attorney? I'm sorry, the tip-off?
Yes, it appears so. It's unclear. He states it was from a former roommate of Tzuyang's, but I'm not sure.
I doubt it.
Could be the attorney, could be a former roommate, but if it is a former roommate, that's even more depressing that there's just more bad people involved.
Yeah.
Doubt it.
Oh my God.
Because there's also the
anybody.
2 girls at the hostess bar that are forcing her to pay hush money, remember? So
I thought
there's
that was
just
a rumor.
like literally her whole life is just being nonstop blackmailed because of what? Because of a violent ex-boyfriend who blackmailed her. And then everything just starts spiraling and she becomes this target for everyone. Yeah. He said that he didn't have direct evidence. It was just an anonymous tip-off. So he really hesitated on making a video for it. He said for the next 2 to 3 years, he went through a lot. You know, he closed down his restaurant and he moved to Seoul. And while talking to people in Seoul, he just kept hearing very negative things from other YouTubers about Tzuyang. And he said, at the time, I believe Tzuyang and her former boyfriend were on the same side, that they were both tax evaders and just bad people. And I would say that my financial hardships and my negative perception of Tzuyang and my assumption that other YouTubers like Jay had taken and extorted money from other people, it made me think, is it really that bad to take money from a bad person?
This guy is out of this world delusional. Like,
He said that he would hang out with the Wrecker Union, the YouTubers, and they would always joke about how they need to stop, quote, eating money from all the people that they're extorting as a joke. And that, like, hee, we're going to go to hell if we keep extorting people. Hee, so funny. And he said he would always go home after these dinners and think to himself, wow, these people just make money so easily. And here I am. Like, what am I doing with my life? It's so hard for me to make money.
That shit's not easy.
and he thinks that people's gonna understand him and feel bad
It's
for
not
him.
easy at all.
Precisely. It gets worse. He said, I started thinking to myself, it's not that bad since she's already a bad person, right? He goes on to state, guys, this is not a pity party. I'm not sharing all this information to like cater to emotions, but one time I went to a wedding, my friend's wedding, and this friend of mine was a very, very close friend who would help me through all the hardest times in my life. And in Korea, you give Tzuyang, which is straight up cash. Instead of giving gifts, usually you give up cash in an envelope. You walk into the wedding and there's a person with a table and a stand, and they have this little list, like a guest booklet, and you write your name down and you write the amount that you're giving to the couple. And I didn't have enough money to give money to my best friend during his wedding. And I even got this text message from him. And he puts a text message on the screen. And it's his friend saying, hey, China, like, did you forget to write your name down on the Tzuyang, like, guest list? Basically saying, I was too embarrassed and I was in so much pain that I couldn't even give money to my best friend for his wedding.
Damn.
A friend who really helped me through everything.
What?
Yeah.
How is that?
How is that our problem?
Also,
What does that have to do with anything?
but why do I feel like
It doesn't have to do with
okay?
anything.
Explain to your friend then.
Or how about this? Get a job. Like, you don't have to be
Right,
a YouTuber.
exactly.
Get a regular job.
Yeah, like I don't know. It just seems much shadier than
Yeah.
Yeah,
if
I
this
do
is your
both.
best friend.
He says, look, I'm not trying to give you guys a pity party with these stories. I only want to share my full story with you. This was the situation I was in at the time, which is just as goofy gets. He continues, I succumbed to the temptation and I contacted Jay. While I was talking to him, I was thinking about arranging a meeting with Tzuyang's agency, but Jay told me that he was going to handle it, so I never actually met up with the agency. Eventually, I did receive extortion money, about $2,200. This was the first and last time I received money with ill intentions during my time on YouTube. He also tries to use the fact that he got such little money as a point that he's a good person. He said, at the time, my only thought was, I guess I'm not getting a lot of money because she's already being extorted by so many people. He continues, because it was his very first time blackmailing someone, he's a good person. See, it's his very first time. He wasn't even really sure how much to receive, like how much you would even ask for. So he just like took $2,200 thinking, okay, I guess that's what the market is. Which is just, I'm smiling because this is almost he's
like-
doing our job.
He's like Dumb and Dumber. Like
Yes.
he's like a criminal, but like so dumb.
We figured it
and-
out.
Yeah,
His
like I'm
apology was
smiling
just
because it would have been
not an
really
apology, just
annoying if he was
look at
so
me, I'm-
smart that he was actually able to use his evilness to convince people that he was somehow not this bad person, right? But he's just so dumb that he's sitting here digging his own grave.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. He genuinely thinks stupidity and that it's his first time doing something is something to be proud of. He argued, you know, if I had felt good about what I did, I would have just continued blackmailing other YouTubers for money. But instead, I didn't do that. I tried to create different types of videos that you guys might like. Like, I put a lot of energy and effort into pivoting my content because he's basically saying he's struggling to make money on YouTube. And instead of blackmailing more YouTubers on top of Tzuyang, he was like, I didn't really feel good about blackmailing her. So I just like, as you can see, I focused on pivoting my content.
As you can see, huh?
Yeah, he continues, I did not fully recognize that she was a victim that suffered for a very long time. Okay, so this point is fascinating. In the blackmail calls, they talk about how Tzuyang's ex is accused and charged with domestic violence, basically. So clearly they know that she is a victim in some capacity. And they also talk about if I asked for more, she might have gotten beat up.
See, that's the thing. It doesn't fucking matter.
It doesn't.
He still don't realize, like, it doesn't matter who they are. You don't fucking blackmail people. That's that's crime. You go to jail. So why are you keep talking about all the bullshit? Just own up to your mistake.
Yeah.
He won't.
Yeah, like
he refuses.
He's like, oh, this.
And he states, you know, I wrote it off.
And those are the worst people to deal with. Like, they will not. I repeat, people like this, they will not admit they're wrong. They will go around in circles and circles and just try to make this story of like, oh man, you just have to understand where I'm coming from. I wouldn't have done it if this, like she said, get a job, go get a side hustle or something, change your content, change your niche, look for something else, do a side hustle while you think about YouTube plans and you try to measure out or map out your demographics and who you're targeting and age groups and like, do all that stuff. You don't have to be like, well, they're over there having so much success and I should go over there too because they're bad people and I'm going to take it because it doesn't make me feel bad because they're bad people. But you taking money from a bad person also makes you bad. So it's kind of like it cancels out. So it wouldn't even make sense to do it in the first place. Good people don't be like, well, man, I'm broke right now. Let me go rob somebody of their, like, nobody's doing that. Like, no person with decent moral or decent mindset is going to go out there and victimize somebody because they're in a bad position. Like, bro, do better. Go out there and do something about it. You can change. There's always another way. You don't have to go out there and rob somebody or steal cars or anything like that. Just like you go out there and get ski mask and you find these weapons to go commit these crimes, you can go out there, find clothes, a pen, a paper, and a bike or something like that and go fill out job applications, bro. Use that same energy. That's what I be trying to be like, I'm just one of those people, like, I really try my best to like be hearing people out sometimes, but sometimes you be listening to people, you just like, you know, like, bro, you can do a little bit more. Like, I feel like you're just giving up a little bit too easy and you're just trying to find an easy route, and it's not easy. And if it's easy, it's not going to last long. I could tell you that right now. Easy is not going to, and it's not going to hit hard either. Like, I'd rather take 3, 4, 5 years, wherever it is, to get to where I'm supposed to be than take a month and then get somewhere and then lose it overnight. You know what I mean? Like, I want something that's going to be like, it's going to stick. Like, I want something that's going to be like, you know what? Damn, I look back like I earned that. Like, you can't take that away from me. Like, I did my 2-3 years to get where I'm at. Like, you can't take that from me. Now, some people are gifted enough to find a way early on and invest in or talents or whatever it is that they get, and they're finding their way. I mean, I think everybody's able to find their way. They just have to be willing to put in the work for it. You know what I mean? But that's just me. That's my opinion. Like I said, I'm not trying to offend anybody out there. If you are giving it your all, that's what matters the most. But I'm not trying to sit here and downplay anybody's hustle or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, for people that are out there like him, blackmailing and committing crimes and saying like, well, I grew up in, no one ever gave me a hug, so I went out and shot the old lady. Like, bro, what? Like, what does that have to do with anything? What did she do to you? Like, it doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? So
I wrote all of those conversations off of, it probably wasn't that bad. Like, most couples, they get into these passionate fights. Like, maybe I just thought, like, that's what's going on.
What's going on? Passionate fight?
He's saying, I didn't think that Tzuyang's boyfriend was actually abusive. I thought that they just would get into passionate fights. What are you saying? I deeply regret not resisting that one moment of temptation and making a wrong choice. I am learning firsthand that committing bad deeds comes with significant consequences. Now, this next part of the apology needs to be studied by the American Psychiatric Association and placed into the DMC-6 or something, because I don't even know how to describe it. He says, but regardless of the situation, the fact that so many people are supporting and rooting for Tzuyang now is such a relief to me. I know it really isn't my place, but I hope that Tzuyang will continue with her success and not be burned by others and will be happy. He said in light of the situation, he does try to look for the silver lining of things, and he gets to defriend all the cyber wreckers. You know, he didn't really want to be friends with them anyway, so this is a good way for him to not be friends with them anymore. He also had this image on YouTube, he said, that made him uncomfortable. You know, people thought he was kind of this moral guy, good guy. And it was a lot of burden for him, and now that reputation is gone, so... And he was also trying so hard to hide his financial wreck status from everybody. But now that's out in the open as well.
Wait, I'm so sorry. He said people thought I was a good guy, and that's burdensome to him.
Yeah. To like live up to
you
this
must be
standard.
a really shitty guy to be burdened that people thought you were a decent guy.
Yeah.
That is a crazy statement to be made.
And the fact that
he's like, I can't believe people think I'm a good guy. Like, I'm evil. So the fact that I was stressed, now that everybody know that I'm evil, I feel relieved because I am evil.
Now that you like pointed out that way, yeah.
That is crazy statement.
People are
And the fact that he's like, I was trying so hard to hide the fact that I was broke from everyone, and now that that's out in the open too, it does feel better. He's like, it does feel like a weight has been lifted off of me.
Sometimes.
He also states that the video was uploaded a little later than he wanted because for the past few days since all of this news broke, all he's been doing is sleeping. He said, it's not because I was talking to Jay and Caracula and trying to figure out how to get our story straight or trying to figure out the best way to play this. It's truly because every day for the past 3 days,
That's exactly what
all
it
I
was.
did was avoid reality. I slept all day. I ate just one meal a day. The just eating one meal a day, he also says it like everyone is going to fall to their knees and start babying him in the comments. The way he says it is very like hunky, like one meal. Netizens naturally wanted to light his apology on fire. It feels very much like he's trying to justify his actions because he believes other people are so much worse than me. So I'm okay. Because remember, this is the guy that runs the YouTube channel figuring out which videos are staged or manipulated. It's called Chujak. And one netizen commented, why couldn't you detect the Chujak of Jay receiving $39,000 and burning your life for just $2,000, bro? LOL.
Got his ass.
Jay received $40,000 basically, okay, but lied about receiving $7,000 and gave you like $2,200. LOL. Another comment reads, I don't know at all that you're struggling financially. Like, I don't care. Why are you explaining it in such detail? Wedding gift money? Ha 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 ha. What do you want me to do about it? Why are you selling your feelings? Haha.
Yeah, he should.
Another one
let
reads,
it be.
so what he did throughout this whole video was, 1, I didn't know. 2, I didn't have money. 3, it's my first time, okay? 4, I'm being treated unfairly. 5, I'm having a hard time. I only ate 1 meal. 6, I'm not that bad of a person.
Yeah, that's basically what he said.
He should have just shut up.
Another netizen comment just reads, honestly, he just seems like the biggest idiot out of the 3.
Yeah, that too, yes.
Now, Jay, Underdog Jay, goes on to address the situation through a video as well. If he were to sit there and tell you on camera that he sprouted a second nose on his forehead, I believe that would hold more truth than the video that he actually posted. The whole thing smells like bullshit. I think there is a fine line between confidence and pure delusion. I think Jay has never even seen that line because he is so far deep in Delulu land. He is sitting with confidence in front of the camera
Like a
and
little
with his
hamster
full
or something.
chest. He explains, this is not a case of Tzuyang being blackmailed by me and by YouTuber Jin. This is a case of 2 scam artists, YouTuber AK and YouTuber Pan. The first 2 that received the blackmail footage. So AK gets it from Jay's phone and gives it to Pan.
See, all of them are pointing finger at someone else
Yeah.
and saying that, no, they are the messed up one.
First,
But he recorded in
AK,
the
the
first
YouTuber
place.
former friend of his, took his phone and illegally obtained a copy of the audio. Second, Pan, The YouTuber allegedly using his story to cover up for his alleged SAR friends involved in the Miryang 44 case. This is them, okay? Speaking of, the title of this video is I will report AK and Pan for their second assault incident against Tzuyang. It's not an apology. It's a video about AK and Pan. He says this is truly about how they victimized Tzuyang a second time. This is not about him. This is how they illegally obtained recordings to expose private matters, to open Tzuyang's wounds, just to what? Explain themselves, feel better about themselves, get revenge, to cover up for Miryang 44. He states, I indeed did in fact receive money from Tzuyang. However, I did it. I received the money to give it to other YouTubers who are blackmailing her. I am the middle man. I was going to use $40,000 that she gave to me to give to YouTubers who were trying to make videos on her so that they could keep her past a secret. I was like a consultant. He said that on the phone call with Jin, the audio that was released, I had to pretend to be the bad guy in order for him to confess all of these things.
I don't know what to say. Wow.
I had to guide them into believing that this was all they could get and that I was on their side. Okay?
Does he think we're dumb?
Yes.
Yeah, he does.
Absolutely. Because he says it with his full chest for 20 minutes straight. I just wanted them to leave her alone, and once they get their hush money, they'd be gone. I just needed to act like one of the bad guys. I acted like a double agent. That's what I was doing. I got money from Tzuyang, not because I was blackmailing her, but because I was a double agent. He said if he needs to apologize right now in this situation, what he did wrong is he failed to protect Tzuyang's right to keep her pains hidden. That's what he said he did wrong. He couldn't protect her forgotten rights. I mean, you have to give it to him. He is fully committed to his stupidity. He is married to this dumb story. This is his story, and he's not backing down. He said he received an anonymous tip about Tzuyang's past. We now know that anonymous tip to be the ex-boyfriend's attorney, but he received it, and he said that he would normally ignore stuff like this. But it seemed credible, and the anonymous tipster was able to provide incredibly specific details, claiming that Tzuyang was forging documents, accusing her ex-boyfriend falsely of domestic violence, bullying small businesses, used to work at a hostess bar, doing all these things that go against her image of being this nice girl online. Which, I mean, you would expect him to immediately, as a cyber wrecker, make an expose video on Tzuyang, right? Well, he said it was odd. The way that the anonymous tip was written was almost like a step-by-step manual on how to film a YouTube video. It was basically like, step one, this is what it was just so organized, so neatly.
You know what that made me think of? I thought the attorney shared that information because it's almost like, hey, you make YouTube video on these people, let me give you this information, and you maybe can pay me money or whatever as an exchange, right? But instead, he shared that information anonymously.
Yeah.
So he's not getting anything in return.
Exactly.
So
It's the
he's
second.
just trying to ruin her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Trying to
That's
ruin her life.
all.
And then he's like, well, she didn't get ruined, so I might as well get some money out of it. I think that he is just very upset that a woman is doing better than him.
Yeah.
But look at why she's doing better than you. You are an ass attorney. He said it was like a step-by-step manual on how to get the most damage on Tzuyang in a YouTube video. Essentially, it felt very odd. It felt like a script was handed to him, basically. So not only that, but Jay's fellow YouTuber friends, other cyber wreckers, were calling him up, and they all had gotten similar emails from a leak, but they were about different crimes that Tzuyang had committed, quote, crimes, right? So all of them are getting information, and he reaches out to Tzuyang's agency to tell them, hey, these are so oddly specific. I think you got a mole on your team or something. Someone that works with you or used to work with you is out here sabotaging you. This is his story. This is fake, I think. Tzuyang and her agency ask him for help to find the identity of the anonymous tipster and to figure out all the YouTubers that are foaming at the mouths to incorrectly expose her on these things. And Jay's like, you know what? I will help you. I will take you on for, quote, risk consulting. So he takes $40,000 for his risk consulting services. That's what he says, but it's very much likely it was just blackmail because they did need a contract and they can't write blackmail on the contract.
Yeah.
So they wrote risk consulting.
for $40,000. What are
Yeah.
you talking about right now?
They're trying to change
And
the
he
verbiage.
starts reaching out to all the YouTubers that received anonymous tips to see what they were going to do with the information. And he said, the controversial recording that YouTuber Jin happened while I was building rapport with these YouTubers who had negative feelings towards Tzuyang to obtain all of this information. All the information I gathered was handed right over to Tzuyang's agency. At the time, I foolishly thought that paying YouTubers was the only way to stop them from exposing Tzuyang and making videos. I even used my own money to pay. I paid some of these YouTubers with my own money. And then when I didn't have any more money, that's when I reached out to Tzuyang and they gave me money, 40,000 to pay. Wow.
He's still trying to be a hero, huh?
Yeah, and he said, I just feel bad because I haven't been able to perform that task properly, obviously. So therefore, I will return the full amount to Tzuyang as soon as possible. He states, I'm sorry for not being able to protect Tzuyang's right for this incident to be forgotten. What I'm clearly stating is, I swear to the heavens that I have not done anything to be ashamed of, and I will.
I feel like he what I feel like he did was, so looking back at it, I was kind of thinking as the video was going, I feel like he recorded the conversation because I feel like he tried to backstab the other guy, Jin, that he was talking to in the future in order to blackmail him on the back end, because now it's just kind of make it seem like it didn't go the way he expected. I think he thought it was going to last a little bit longer. And I feel like he was going to use that as ammunition, like later on, to be like, hey, I recorded this video to show you guys what kind of person Jin is. You know what I mean? That's the only way I can see him, or only reason I can see him recording a conversation, because that's kind of weird to record your activities, right? I feel like he may have tried to stab Jin in the back eventually, which he already did by taking like more money. He only gave him $2,000 or something when he took like $40-something thousand. Yeah, I felt like he was going to use that as ammunition, but I feel like it didn't go that way, and it came out much sooner than what he expected. But I don't know. That's just me.
Do my best to stay by Tzuyang's side to protect her rights.
Oh,
Let me
someone
say
got
this
mine.
again. I have not received any money through shameful means, nor have I acted in a shameful way. Please just wait one day. Just as always, I will come out as the winner in the end. Which is his version of events. It's a bizarre hero complex trope at best. At worst, it's fully re-victimizing Tzuyang and spreading lies to clear his name so that he can continue making dirty money. And netizens were confused on how someone could be so confident stating such a bold-faced lie. They commented, so in conclusion, he did not expose Tzuyang himself, but instead received $40,000 to help make sure nobody else exposed her. But because he was recording himself and gave his phone to his former friend AK, who along with Pan revealed the audio recordings, he accidentally appeared like the bad guy while everybody else caused Tzuyang secondary harm. This is just like the most coinky-dink, oopsie, I'm actually not the bad guy story. Am I getting this right?
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
He also posted pictures of the contract for risk consulting that he has with Tzuyang's agency, and a few netizens pointed out the contract date for him receiving money from Tzuyang to help her and her agency figure out who's spreading these malicious lies was February 27, 2023. The audio recording of him and Jin plotting to blackmail Tzuyang is February 20th, 2023.
Wait, say that one more time?
He signed the contract with
3
Tzuyang's
days
agency
before
7 days after the
After, yeah.
blackmail audio tape. So
Right.
he's like, no, I was pretending to be bad on the audio tape to build rapport. It's like,
Yeah.
Bad. Continue. You're pretending.
so he's already working for Tzuyang before he's working for Tzuyang? Because he said that it was only after talking to Tzuyang and finding out the truth, he felt like, oh, I'm on her side. I'm going to help her. But he hadn't talked to her yet.
Yeah.
So what does any of this mean? Netizens have commented on Jay's very fascinating brain and how it should be studied. They commented, it costs money to protect her painful, forgotten rights, eh? Is that why you blackmailed her? I guess it costs $40,000 to protect someone's rights now. Another netizen pointed out, it seems like he's playing both sides. Maybe he initially made it seem like he was the good guy to Tzuyang's people till they found out that he wasn't, which is honestly worse.
Right.
So he might have not been like, hey, I'm blackmailing you. He might have told Tzuyang, like, I'm going to help you,
Right.
which honestly is worse.
Yeah.
Right.
Backstab.
Yes. Oh my god.
Backstab isn't
Yes,
always
that
worse.
makes
It always
sense.
can be worse.
They
Backstab.
say for Jay, it seems at best, if we say it as nicely as possible, he's basically running a racketeering scheme forcing businesses to pay him a protection fee to operate.
Yeah.
Another netizen just said, a double agent? Please go see a therapist. But also, if Jay's story is true, why did Tzuyang and her attorneys file a complaint with the Seoul Central District's prosecutor's office against Jay, Jin, and the no longer anonymous tipster? Another thing that's very fascinating about Jay that people have pointed out is that none of this would have been known had Jay not recorded all of his calls with other YouTubers. But it turns out he was so deep in the business of blackmail and extortion that he recorded basically every phone call, just in case. He was so desperate to be able to blackmail them one day, to have leverage on them, that he was willing to record himself committing a crime.
Bro, I'm a genius.
One netizen comments, if you're going to record yourself blackmailing someone, maybe learn how to take care of your phone a little bit better.
And that's so fascinating because I'm assuming AK made a copy of Jay's phone, probably with blackmailing intent.
Yeah.
Right? Like, why the hell would you... You're digging for something to blackmail someone. So all of these people are just the shittiest of...
The shittiest people.
Yeah.
Another one just said, I think Jay should be eradicated. We should just douse him with pesticides and get rid of him. Caracula broke his silence. This is the one that gave advice. He is like the more well-liked cyber wrecker. I wouldn't say he's like beloved. He's not like Tzuyang where most people like him, but he was a little bit more well-liked. He did have previous controversies, but you know, he was the one that gave advice that Tzuyang is the golden goose that lays the golden eggs. So maybe don't blackmail her. He broke his silence after the whole incident, and he posted a paragraph that reads, I had a fever in the morning and last night, so I took some medicine and fell into a deep sleep. I woke up this morning to 40 missed calls and my YouTube channel filled with hate comments, and I'm all over the news as if I'm a son of a bitch who took money under the table. I'm not sure if this is a dream or reality, but my head is in a daze this morning. I'm not sure if this is revenge for my coverage on another incident that I think Kim and Jay didn't like. But he writes, Jay and Kim, are you sure you can handle this war?
Oh.
It seems like he's mad at Kim because he's the one that exposed the audio. He's mad at Jay because they were supposed to be friends, but then he recorded the whole conversation. And that's the recording that was leaked in the first place.
And he said, you guys want war?
He writes, are you guys ready? You can handle this war? Are you sure? Because the person who has nothing to lose isn't as scary as the person with a lot to lose who's willing to lose it all.
He posted a threat.
I swear on my two sons that I've never received any dirty money. This is the only thing I'm proud of as a YouTuber, which is like the bar is so low. I'll be putting a pause on the scheduled content and quickly return with evidence proving my innocence. Please put your neutral helmets on, viewers, and wait for me. I'm not going to go down like this. For whose benefit? Then he posts a YouTube video stating that he is being slandered, accused of being a blackmailer. He says in the video that he did not receive a single cent from Tzuyang. He ends the video by sending a public request to Tzuyang and her legal team asking for help in resolving how unfair he feels the situation is. Netizens obviously do not like this. His request in and of itself is ridiculous. What do you mean you're sending a public request? Why should she do anything for you? Why should she give you the time of day? Why are you putting the responsibility on her?
Yeah. I thought he was about to handle business.
Soon afterwards, Caracula has announced his retirement in a YouTube video. He said, after being active as a YouTuber for the past 5 years without rest, I am stepping down to convey my sincerity. All recent allegations are my fault. I foolishly responded by involving innocent kids out of fear after being accused of being a blackmailer overnight. If I had known about Tzuyang's heartbreaking past while talking on the phone with Jay, I wouldn't have spoken so lightly about, blackmail her, not blackmail her, even if it was a personal call. This was inconsiderate and wrong on my part. I have never conspired to threaten or take money. I really hope everyone believes me on this. He tries to explain one time that he took money and...
Wait. I thought you said he never took money.
He says it was not blackmail money, kind of. He said, okay, it's somewhat paraphrased for clarity, but he said that he was receiving money from a person known as Suit, who's currently in prison for fraud. He said in 2021, my channel was about cars, which is why my channel name is Caracula, car, and Dracula combined. And it was not about social issues back then. I introduced Suit to another businessman, and the two of them were going to raise money for a new business, and they gave me $22,000 to provide media attention to their business. I used that money personally.
What the... So you took money,
Yeah.
and you spend the money. You
Personally.
stole the money
Yeah.
that's supposed to be for marketing, and you used it to do your own shop. Like,
Didn't he put it on his
what?
two
But
sons, or
he's
that's someone
justifying
else?
it by saying Suit's business turned out to be a scam and he's now in prison.
So
A-
that makes him innocent.
Yes.
Got it.
Because, you know,
didn't know
if
that.
they're bad people.
Yeah. So
That's
but he
fine.
didn't take the money.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, that never happened. It's like two negatives equal a positive.
Right. Okay.
And he says A is also on trial for a crypto related case. So, you know. And he said, I wanted to hide all this, but I won't conceal my crimes anymore, and I will fully cooperate with the investigation. If I'm to be punished, I will accept it willingly, and I am truly sorry. I have ruined myself and will, for the rest of my life, live in reflection and repentance.
Why'd he have to do it?
The
Like, I did it,
prosecutor's
I'm
office
sorry.
came
Oh,
out
yeah.
with a statement that they will start actively reclaiming revenue earned by YouTubers through spreading fake information or malicious content. YouTube has also demonetized most of their channels. Caracula, Jin, and Jay's YouTube channels demonetized.
Wow. So that
Yes.
means YouTube
Nothing.
has officially got involved.
Yes, because it goes against their partner program policies. And you have to be a
What-
YouTube partner to monetize your videos.
What part goes against? Like, is it blackmail?
Yeah,
Goes against
it's
the
like the
policy?
crime
Okay.
and extortions.
So after he got demonetized, he say, I retire.
Yeah, like a lot
Okay.
of them just retired after they got demonetized.
Right.
Is the
Okay.
vibe.
It's not you. Okay. You got fired.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
Okay.
And now you
Yeah.
don't have any
And,
resources to make YouTube videos.
The prosecutor's office is saying that they're going to be reclaiming revenue earned by YouTubers that spread fake information or malicious content, which on surface level sounds great because if they can reclaim some profits, maybe they can give it to the victims. Some netizens really supported it initially, but it's too good to be true, right? Other netizens are concerned. They comment, in other words, sure, this case, but think about all the other cases. In other words, all channels the prosecutors find offensive will be considered criminal channels and they can claim profits from them.
So they have control.
Yes. And another comment said there's so much room for this to be abused. If the prosecutions can claim profit as proceeds of crime for defamation, it means they can pressure the political channels that criticize the government or their work.
Yep.
Another comment reads, so they want to bully YouTubers who talk shit about them, and they're using this case as the excuse and the example. So it's getting very messy. The Bar Association is investigating attorney Choi, the one that leaked the information to the YouTubers. Some people say that he might not actually get in any trouble because technically there is no attorney-client privilege since A, the client is dead. Additionally, he did not leak any information that I guess is unfavorable to the dead client.
Also, for those of you that are not familiar with YouTube, you can't say or do certain things anymore. Back then, YouTube was like the Wild Wild West, bro. You'll see all kind of videos, cartel videos, like any kind of video you could think of, you can find it, bro. It was like monetization. Now you can't say anything. On games now, when I used to do gaming content, if it was like too much blood or something like that, or somewhere, you would get demonetized. They'll block your video. Like you can't do that anymore. Now you have certain games you can't even play anymore. You got to censor certain games. You can't show anything. And it's like, it sucks. It's just like, if people don't want to see it, don't watch the video. But like nowadays, like people just like to complain. They like to see stuff that they don't agree with, and they're like, oh, I gotta say something it's burning me up inside. I can't sit here and watch it. Like it's just like, why are you just don't watch it? Go on to others, go on to another YouTube channel. Like you know what game you're clicking on. Like you know it's Grand Theft Auto. You know it's going to be certain language on there. You know you're watching a horror game. You know it's going to be certain kind of death or some kind of madness going on. So it's like, why are you surprised about what it is that you're viewing? And if it's like people are like, well, my kids are on YouTube. Well, monitor your kids' apps. Get like a blocker or something, or get the thing where they have to get your permission to sign, or you got to type a password in before they can view the video. Like, why are you just letting your kids aimlessly roll on roam social media and then complain about it when they see something they're not supposed to see or hear? You know what I mean? It's dumb. And it's just like now it's getting to the point to where I constantly have to go back and forth to YouTube when I post reaction videos. And it's not because it's it's Stephanie's content or anything like that. It's just when they say certain things as far as like the middle schoolers and the essays and the when you use the R words, and you can't use certain words anymore. So you have to either bleep it or you have to like block it out or anything like that, because it's deemed too sensitive and not family friendly for YouTube. So a lot of times my videos be getting flagged, and then you have to submit it to be unflagged. They're like, oh yeah, you're right, it does it does fit our guidelines, and it's you know what I mean. So it is what it is, but that's just us like update you guys as far as that goes. Because monetization used to be like, hey, people love your videos, that's all that matters. Hey, you can post it, but now it's kind of like, does it fit our system? They're kind of like more of like pushing an agenda now. It's kind of like if you don't fit in a certain area, your content really doesn't get pushed as much as others. It's a lot. It's changed a lot. I've been on YouTube for about 3-4 years, maybe even more than that, on and off, because I was in the military, so I was moving around a lot and doing stuff. So on and off, but yeah, it's changed a lot, and I want to imagine how much it's going to change in the future. But recently, they have been getting a little bit more open, just a little bit though, not too much. You can't say too much though.
And Tzuyang was never his client. He also signed the contract with Tzuyang to be her advisor after he already leaked the information to YouTubers. Which is morally even more disgusting, but legally it could help him, is what a lot of netizens are concerned about. And this just feels like a case of a bunch of men feeling like they could take a piece of Tzuyang. That they're all just trying to exploit her weaknesses, her victimization to further victimize her. Like they look at this successful woman who has already been victimized to hell and back, and they think, how can I get something out of her next?
Exactly.
One netizen sums it up pretty well, and they say, so Tzuyang was simply in the middle of a fight amongst nasty ass men. And yeah, I will say this case made me lose a lot of hope in men, except remember Champ PD, the YouTuber who in 2020 was talking about all the under the table ads?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the truth is Tzuyang did do under the table ads at the time because her boyfriend had forced her to.
Mm-hmm.
Champ PD made that video where he exposed Tzuyang of doing it. And after that video was released, Tzuyang's ex-boyfriend called Champ PD in the middle of the night and stated that, yes, Tzuyang did take those ads, but I'm going to kill her and I'm going to kill myself. And Champ PD is like, what are you talking about? And he's like, unless you can help me put an end to this, we're both going to die.
Wow.
Champ PD lies on camera after that.
Oh my lord.
He posts an apology video where he says that his information was wrong. And Tzuyang did not take under the table ads. He goes on a live stream with Tzuyang, and even though he wasn't wrong, it didn't matter to him because Tzuyang's life was in danger. I don't think that he knew that the ex was abusing Tzuyang to that extent, but clearly he's a very scary person if he's threatening to, you know, self-exit with her. He just thought, I can't let her die. And so in that video where he apologizes to Tzuyang, they're both sitting at the table and Tzuyang is crying. She's very emotional, and it makes him appear worse because a lot of the comments at the time said, look at everything he's putting her through. For what? Fake information? He just wanted to spread lies on women. And the truth is, Tzuyang was so sorry that he was doing this for her and terrified that her boyfriend was going to kill her and emotional about the shitty situation that she was in, that she couldn't even look at him. And because you know when you're so guilty and you feel so bad someone is doing this for you and like basically ruining his career for her, she couldn't even look him in the eye. At one point, he bows to her, apologizing, and you see her almost shake her hands like this, like, no, no, no.
Like, don't bow to me.
Yeah, like, don't bow to me. Like, no, you didn't do anything wrong. But she can't say anything because her ex is threatening to kill her. He continues to apologize, and during that time, he received over 80,000 malicious hate comments, and he was physically assaulted. A viewer threw a rock at him on the street because they hate him. He was just the most disgraced YouTuber for a long period.
He never said anything.
No. And Tzuyang was able to gain her career back after that because people actually rallied behind her.
How? And this information was shared when?
By another YouTuber who seems to have audio conversations between them. I don't know if a friend leaked it or something, but there's a phone conversation after all of this. And it's Champ PD talking to Tzuyang, and he basically says, it's okay because I was able to save someone. And I'm a business person, so even if I don't do YouTube anymore, I will make a living doing something else. And Tzuyang is profusely apologizing to him, and he just tells her, you don't have to worry about me. How's your health? You don't have to feel guilty. It's a happy ending if you keep brightly doing your broadcast for the fans who have been waiting for you. I'm much older than you and I have a lot more experience in society and I can endure it. I hope you stay healthy and you spread your positive energy to others. Personally, as a fan, I would love to see you broadcast again soon. Because she keeps apologizing and he keeps reassuring her. If you keep worrying about me and thinking about the attacks on me, everything we've done becomes meaningless. Okay? That just makes it harder for both of us. Just take care of your health and stay mentally strong and don't pay attention to the trolls and haters. You have lots of good fans around you and fans who truly love you. You felt that a lot, right? This time you felt the fans' love. So stay strong, okay? I want you to do well, Tzuyang. And rest well and make sure to eat properly, okay? Thankfully, he's getting a lot of love now. I don't think he's addressed the situation at all. He's just posting his little food review videos. And people are like, how can there be such horrendous people on the same platform as Tzuyang and Champidi? And Tzuyang's team, they seem like her protectors as well. They never really get the recognition because they're behind the camera, but it seems like they were the ones that gave her the strength to even get an attorney. And Tzuyang herself, she's a survivor. While all these other men involved, I mean, I don't know. I don't think that there are acceptable words in any language to describe what they are.
Sick.
To them, they see a woman's success and they can only think, how is that going to benefit me? How can I take that from her? How can I get a piece? Back in 2021, and this makes me even more upset, a netizen even suspected that something strange was happening with Tzuyang. In 2021, they wrote in an online forum, Tzuyang seems a bit naive. I don't know, something about her videos. It feels like a bear that is doing all the work while someone rich behind the scenes is making all the money. I mean, have the people that work for her and her channel, have they ever been revealed? Like her business? Who is their manager? Does she have some sort of agency? I don't know how else to put it. It just feels like she's doing all the work and someone else is profiting. Mm-hmm. The comments on that post in 2021 were flooded with disagreeers. They said, I actually think it's the opposite. I think it's her trying to be perceived as naive. Honestly, Ophelia. I think she seems more calculating to me. She's a bit more of a fox than a bear. I think she's really good at manipulating her viewers and making it appear that she's this innocent girl. But she's a crazy, clever, cunning businesswoman. She's very manipulative is the feeling, not naive. Another comments, I think the OP is more naive. She's not naive. Trust. She's making money.
Dang. I wish I could eat like
it's
that.
It's crazy
though.
how even when someone noticed something seafood. Odd, the comments are not even giving the idea the time of day. They are so quick to say that a successful woman is manipulative, sneaky, cunning, and all these things, and that she's pretending and acting and she's pulling the wool over on her viewers' eyes. Yet maybe she's just a nice girl who really enjoys food. Okay, and maybe she's going through a lot behind the camera. One netizen comments, and this is after the abuse was made public. Tzuyang got involved with the manager of a hostess bar while working there, LOL. That's why she's willing to pay and cover everything up with money until this incident broke out. Tzuyang, stop trying to cover up your establishment work history with all of this. What forced work are you talking about? Another comment, let's be real, Tzuyang met her boyfriend while working at the room salon, LOL. People. You're saying the ex-boyfriend forced her to work? Don't make up stories now just because he's dead. Another comment reads, honestly, this whole situation can be summed up like this. Tzuyang comes from a room salon background. She endures violence because she loves a guy and even tolerates being secretly filmed in sexual situations without pressing charges. She and the others are all birds of a feather.
A bunch of people not knowing shit
Another
about
comment
nothing.
reads, what's so great about Tzuyang that she's allowed to destroy so many people around her? She should have behaved better from the start and none of this would have happened. Another comment reads, I find everyone hard to believe. Jay, because of his past controversial behavior, but even Tzuyang. I wonder if we can truly trust her just because what? A few tears and a few pieces of evidence? Another one reads, if you look at this closely, Tzuyang was blackmailed about her past, but instead of reporting it, she gave money. It's clear there's probably something bigger she wants covered up. Aww. Her ex self-exited, so if Tzuyang says she's the victim, then the story is she's the victim. To me, they all just seem like the same kind of people. One comment from Tzuyang's video reads, from now on, we ban your I'm sorry. Those who should apologize are walking around with their heads held high. And why is the victim apologizing?
Exactly.
Let's stop doing that.
Man, facts. I said
So
that
I would
earlier.
say that most people are supporting Tzuyang and they're rallying around her. And we don't know if she's going to come back soon or later with her regular content, but I hope she is doing well.
That's all we can hope
And
for.
that is the very complicated case of Tzuyang. I did see some coverage of the case in English, and I do think that the biggest element of the case, obviously, is Tzuyang's story and her abuse. But I think even the re-victimization of the blackmail and just the series of people, because her ex-boyfriend, I'm so sorry to say this, is dead. And I think that that can give closure so that he can no longer hurt more victims and victimize other people and continue to victimize Tzuyang. Whereas these YouTubers, they're very much around and they can victimize more people.
Yes.
They can continue doing these deeds. And I think that
and
that
they have influence. People will listen. Yeah.
and they have money, it seems. So I do think that that is something that needs to be talked about.
course.
It's not just her ex-boyfriend. It is a series of really bad people that took advantage of Tzuyang. What are your thoughts on this case? Did you know that it went this deep and this dark?
Well, I didn't know it went this deep and this dark. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've seen her videos around. Like I said, I'm not a big person. I might watch people like eat food, you know, like I said, like every now and again, but like I've never really sat there and watched people eat the whole video. Like Matt Stoney, I used to watch him eat all the time. If y'all know who that is, I stay watching Matt Stoney videos. Like, damn, that looked good. But it made me hungry too. But it just goes to show you, like I said, every time, like I tell you guys, you can't be worshiping YouTubers. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors. Everyone's not your friend. That's why I don't call everybody my friend. People are like, oh, that's my friend. People be having like 15, 30, 45 friends. No, I don't. I probably got like a good 8, 9, maybe 10 friends. I have associates. I have people that I talk to every now and again, but it's not people that I would like go to hell and back for. You know what I'm saying? That's the people I call friends. I don't call everybody friends. Like I respect everybody. I show everybody the same amount of respect. I try my best to promote positivity, no matter who you are, where you come from, what you look like. Like I treat everybody the same. I'm an easygoing person. Like I just always been like that. I've always kept my guard up, whether it's family, whether it's, you know, friends, you know, significant others, anything like that, ex-girlfriends, whatever. But I just don't trust people. Like I said, when people want to use my phone or anything like that, like Ophelia said, small circles are great. Like you can keep track of everybody. When you have these big circle of friends, it's one person said this, another person said that. People start spreading rumors. You don't really know who's your friend. You don't know who's out to get you. You don't know who's jealous of you. You don't know who's in competition with you. You don't know who's spying on you. Like it's a lot that goes into it. People are like, oh, that would never happen to me. My friends would never do that to me. And you would think that. Like I've lost friends, many friends. I lost family members. Like you can't trust everybody. You don't let everybody know what you do for a living. Don't tell everybody how much money you're making. Don't tell everybody that you have a side hustle, because people are going to look and monitor you, and they're going to be out to get you. I'm telling you. But like I said, everybody doesn't have these ill intentions. But I'm just saying it to you guys that you know that they exist, because you may not see it. They may be right next to you. You see it all the time. Like, oh, I didn't know my brother cheated on me with my wife, or my wife cheated on me with my brother. You know what I mean? It's you just don't know. And then for her, she was out here really, you know, trying to survive, and only way she can do that, it was through YouTube comments. I love YouTube for the same reason. Like I have other stuff that's going on that I don't talk to you guys about all the time. You know, I'd be experiencing like hardships and stuff like that, but when I come and do YouTube and stuff like that, like you tend to forget it. Like I think one of my YouTube video is like I think it's something like escaping reality through videos, or escaping realities through content, or something like that. I put that on my thing, and I truly live by that. I feel like when I'm on YouTube, it's like everything else just gets blocked out. Like you have these different masks that you put on as a brother, sister, uncle, you know, nephew, whatever, aunt, you know what I'm saying? You put on these different masks in order to kind of like give enough to everybody within your life, but you have to try not to spread yourself so thin that you kind of like forget about yourself. That's why I always push people to kind of like follow their dreams, because you just never know where it may lead you. You know what I'm saying? Because her friends, you know, the ones that said, hey man, you should do broadcasting, you can eat a lot, you know, that was a blessing for her to do. She probably would have never looked into doing broadcasting, eating, and look where she at today. You know what I'm saying? So don't be afraid to try everything. Don't be afraid to fail, because you are going to fail. Like you're going to hit the ground a few times before your parachute opens. So don't give up, don't quit. Everything doesn't happen overnight. Sometimes it does for some people. You know what I'm saying? One day you can be walking down the street and you just say, give them that hawk to it, and you know, millions and millions of subscribers and your fame. It's just, you just never know. But I'm just glad Tzuyang was able to speak up about herself and her situation, because not only does it help her, it also helps those people around her that are in a constant battle right now with someone that's abusive, or someone that's controlling them or manipulating them into doing something that they don't want to do, or something that they're, you know, they can't really speak about because they're scared of the consequences or the repercussions that may come with speaking up. You know what I mean? So like, it's really, really hard to do, especially putting yourself out there live in front of a platform, in front of thousands of people, and telling them that you're a victim of this crime. And then you have those groups of people that's like, oh, she's just doing this for attention. Just the toxic people with the fake profiles and living the miserable lives on the outside that tries to come and make people feel the same the way they do because their life sucks. Those are the people I'm talking about. But the people that are out there that's kind of able to understand and recognize which are like what are lies and what is the truth is like, I love those people. The people with the common sense. Common sense does not come with everybody. It's not common. Common sense is not common. They said it all the time in the military, and I didn't understand what they meant until I began to serve and dealt with different people. You start to see that common sense is not common. But I hope this case goes the right route and they charge the right people like they supposed to, because it's just a lot of wolves in sheep clothing that's going around right now. Oh, I just did it because, you know, I grew up and I didn't have no money to give my friend's wedding. Or I just recorded this call because I just tried to catch him in a lie and show everybody that he's the real, you know, perpetrator behind it. It's goofy. You know what I mean? So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. This video is by Rotten Mango. Again, so if you guys haven't already, make sure you swoop down in the description box. Click on a link, go watch this video in entirety. I'll pause and stop it and talk it through the whole thing. If you guys are new to the channel, my name is Zems, and welcome to the Crow's Nest. So hopefully I didn't talk too much. I know I can talk a lot sometimes, and I feel like I repeat some of the same things only because the criteria in most of these videos fit the same. Like, if it just fits the same bubble, like it's in that same vicinity of what's been going on. It's just like every video, it's like a small piece that makes me have to reiterate something I said at the last video. But then again, maybe it's somebody new that haven't heard it yet. You know, they're new to the channel. But yeah, man, keep sending out your guys' recommendations. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the live streams. I really appreciate all the people that's been stopping by and supporting it. Make sure you like the video and comment though, so I can know that you guys are enjoying the videos and the content and just the reaction videos in general. Thank you, affiliate. I appreciate it. Here's her. Yeah, I appreciate it, Ophelia. I hope you have a lovely day, and everyone that's in here that I was watching, I hope you guys have a great day. If you guys do want to see me more live streams again, let me know. I'm going to be starting back up my Twitch channel. My friend told me I should do it again because he used to like watching me stream video games. So my Twitch is going to be the same as my YouTube channel, which is Reprisal Zems. If you guys do have a Twitch, or if you want to see what it's like to see me play video games, I just play a lot of horror games. It should be some old content or clips or something like that of me getting jump scared. I scare super easily. I know whoever thought, you know, how manly, tough Zems that you wouldn't think I get. No, but I do get scared super easily. So when it comes to like ghosts and stuff like that. But yeah, it was a great live stream. So again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Enjoy your day. Be safe. Don't add or subtract from the population. Don't do anything crazy. Be safe. Watch your surroundings. Love one another. Again, if no one told you today, I love you. Peace. I'm about to go get some.